All right, I'm going to get started. Thanks everybody for joining me tonight. I am Merfolk Joe. Tonight, however, is Monday Night Soulherder. I'm here every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. This week is a little bit earlier, 7 p.m. Eastern. For any of you guys, well, for any of you regulars, hopefully starting a little bit earlier is not a big problem. I just figure if I start earlier, I'll finish a little bit earlier, have some time to eat dinner later on, and not just not end too late. So anyhow, this is my 4-color Soulherder list. It's really Bant. It's really Bant Soulherder with the tiniest black splash. Hey, Ferdy, welcome to the stream. My weekend. Wow, it's so easy to lose track of days in the current situation, being summer and also being like quarantine-y. So my weekend, it was actually pretty good, pretty unusual, I'd say, for me in the past few months. A couple of my friends and their newborn baby are moving to Massachusetts from New York, and so we met up with them on Saturday to just have lunch and sort of hang out and say goodbye. So that was the first time I had eaten outside since maybe March or February or something. So it's interesting. New York City, I mean, I'm in Brooklyn. It's gotten really lovely, actually, with the advent of the whole quarantine situation, because all of the restaurants have built these outdoor seating areas, and it feels very European. Like when I'm in Spain in the summers, all the bars and restaurants always have like massive outdoor seating areas, and that happens in New York a lot, but now it's like uniform. Like every restaurant that you walk past, like in a given block, you'll see like four beautiful outdoor seating areas. And I've heard that I think that they're all going to keep these seating areas after the quarantine time is over, which should be awesome. Again, it makes the street life so much more vibrant and beautiful. So that was nice on Saturday. And then yesterday, Sunday, I actually had another lunch with a friend who had coordinated with me earlier in the week to sort of set up a time we could get together. It's just one of my friends from actually rock climbing, who I haven't seen in a long time, again because of COVID. So I went to Soho for that one, and again, just like really overwhelmed by the beauty of all of these outdoor seating areas. So in Brooklyn and Manhattan, it's been a nice little subtle change to the streetscape, and there's not nearly as many people walking around, which is also quite nice. So good question, and it was a good weekend. How was your weekend, Ferdy? Things usually start off pretty slow on my stream. It takes people a little while to get here, so we can chat a little bit. I was starting to say, well, let's see, Victoria, Australia. Oh my God, not in a good place. Getting like hundreds of cases a day. The government's freaking out, full lockdown. Well, to be honest, you do kind of have to deal with the full lockdown thing. Like, being like, if the government didn't do that, then it would probably be obviously much worse. So, I feel you. I mean, maybe it's been very different in Australia throughout so far, but in New York, we got hit pretty hard right away. Things, we were trying to like act like it wasn't a big deal, like, oh, it's a China thing. It's just maybe a few people will get sick here and there. And we didn't take it very seriously. And then we didn't have hundreds of cases a day. We had thousands of cases a day, and people are dying. And so, of course, we had to have a full lockdown. And now things are starting to get better. The curve is flattening. And I'm sorry to hear that where you are is just starting to experience that craziness now. But just know that the lockdown does help. I know some of us are very social people. We have our routines where we see our friends, and it can be pretty hard going weeks or months on end without hanging out with anybody. that's when we have to sort of reach out to the magic community, and try to get some interaction that way, I guess. And you use Skype and Zoom, and maybe I know some people have like webcam setups where they can play paper magic with their friends even when they're in quarantine. So you just gotta sort of buck up and hunker down and all that stuff, and it'll be over pretty soon. I feel like New York is finally starting to sort of see the light, even though I don't think we're gonna be really out of it for another 6 months or something. Had it under control, then the hotel quarantine people started. Yeah, there's a lot of stupid people in the world, like people talking about masks as if it's like an issue of personal freedom protected by our beloved Constitution. And it's like, do you want to die? I don't understand. I saw a video where these two young surfer guys were trying to give out free masks to people like around the beach in California, and like half the people that they asked if they want a mask, first, nobody was wearing a mask, so everybody that they asked didn't have a mask, and half the people that they asked started talking about God, like saying, I know where I'm going to go when I die already, so do you know where you're going? And it's do you want to die sooner? I don't understand what the point is. And first of all, like, it's just like a fundamental issue that's not understood by the people who say things like that, is that it's not about you. It's about everybody else. You could be carrying the disease and get all these people sick. And it is super unchristian, obviously, to not care about your neighbor, right? To not care about your fellow man. So if you are truly, a believer of Christ, a follower of the faith, then you should be wearing a mask before anybody else. We need to protect each other. We need to look out. So I don't want to hear about your freedom. I don't want to hear about your faith. I want to hear that, you care about me. I care about you. We're in this together. Let's get out of it together. Anyhow, it makes me a little bit angry. Like some people, like you can buy online, because some areas have rules saying you have to wear a mask when you're outside. If you don't, you'll get fined. You can be arrested. So in order to sort of meet the letter of the law, some people started making and even selling masks made out of like mesh or lace that don't stop any like water particles from escaping and entering, just to sort of meet the letter of the law, not get arrested, and just sort of give like a middle finger to the man, and that it's just so stupid. Like I can't think of anything stupider than that. Yes, exactly. And welcome paintball. It's really, really stupid. Like if you want to Google like pointless masks or whatever, or mesh masks and personal freedom and whatnot, you'll get pretty upset. Don't say I didn't warn you. All right, so enough of that. I hope, Ferdy, that your situation gets better really quickly. Odds are it's going to take a little while, but at least we've got magic in the meantime. So this has been my list now for about a month. It's felt really, really nice. I think since I 5-0'd like a little over a week ago, I've gone 5-0 and then 3-3-2s, and then like a 2-3, and then another 3-2, and then just today I went 5-0 again with this list. So I'm not here to say that it's the best Soulherder list possible. There's all those different variables: 60 cards, 80 cards, black splash, no black splash, red splash, whatever. But I've been having a lot of fun, and I've been winning enough to not make me like rip my my hair out, right? I had a few beautiful additions to the deck recently with this amazing Eternal Witness art, this beautiful Pithing Needle art. I really like these new Snowlands. This is from the Secret Lair, and they don't have foil online. In paper, the Secret Lair is only foil. Otherwise, I'd be all over these in paper. I'm not really a fan of like the Snow Cone full art lands. Let's pull those up real quick. Like everyone just looks the same, and they put a stupid red border on it, or they put a pink tinge on it, or a blue tinge on it. They're all the same. Snow Cone A, Snow Cone B, Snow Cone in the distance. Not very inspired. Whereas, on the other hand, these arts are really lovely, extremely well illustrated. If they were full art, it'd be a little bit better. But I've got nothing against the sort of classic Magic the Gathering card frame. Looks quite nice. The forest, really cool, kind of like a dusky situation here. And the snow covered plain, maybe the best art of the three. Just stunning, really really nice work. Yeah, just some minor upgrades visually to the deck. Got the 2 tattoos, got the three new snow covered arts. Yeah, they do kind of have, because it's actual real life, like earth snow covered lands, right? It's not like random snow cones, I guess. Snow cones on, like, Ikoria or whatever stupid plane it is. Yeah, just looks like you're walking outside. So anyhow, 5-0. Why don't I talk about that for a second? The deck has felt great. The first round, Hostage Taker, it was a long, dragged out game against Eldrazi and Taxes. I had Worship and I had the Stonehorn Soulherder loop, so it was just like they couldn't do anything. They couldn't attack. And I could kind of choose what I wanted to do. I punted into Leonin Arbiter a couple times, just because I'm pretty bad with that card on the board. But there's only one way to get better. You just mess up a few times, and then I've definitely gotten better. Like, I actually feel really proud of myself when I click on Arbiter and pay the 2 mana, because I'm like, yeah, like, I know how to play Magic. I'm not gonna like punt away my Court of Calling or something like that. So Hostage Taker did some work in that match, but then otherwise didn't really do too much. But also, as a singleton, it just, it comes up when you want it to come up, and it's been great. I would not trim any of the Oros. They just carry the deck in half our matches. Like, once you get a nice board, if a control opponent just casts Supreme Verdict, now your whole board is just full of like 20 cards, and you can just keep casting Oro. It's like, what are they going to do? If they finally find like a Path to Exile, you can just ephemerate him, goes back in the yard, you just play him again. It's excellent. This card, I think, should be a 2 of in Soulherder, no matter what list you're playing. If you're playing 80 cards, you might want to go up to 3. It's that good. But if you're on 0 Uros, I think it's just strictly incorrect at this point. It elevates the deck significantly, because it just, like, imagine the deck without Uro against Supreme Verdict. You can just get in such a hole, right? Like, if you've expended all your resources, the Supreme Verdict, and now you're just top decking, like, what are you going to do? Maybe you'll draw an Eternal Witness and try to rebuild that way, but pretty much anything else is just going to draw you 1 card. Not that amazing. And Oro's just bonkers. So anyhow, Oro's been amazing. I was thinking about making one small change. I was thinking about bringing one of the Teferis into the main, because it's always amazing when it comes in. And the card that I would probably replace it, I just swap, like, pre-board a Teferi in for the Night of Autumn. But as I started to think about it more, I was thinking about the metagame and, what Night of Autumn does. I was chatting briefly with CFT, SOC3, in the other Soulherder channel on Discord. And I was telling him I thought Night of Autumn was super well positioned. He was saying it's terrible against Prowess. But I was saying there's tons and tons and tons of Stoneforge decks all over the place. Now, I disagree somewhat that Night of Autumn is terrible against Prowess. His point was that that's not the axis that you're fighting on, and I do agree with that. That's not the primary axis. You're trying to deal with their creatures. That's the most important thing. But gaining chunks of life, like with Night of Autumn, is not terrible, right? So it's definitely okay against Prowess in game 1. You might board it out in game 2, but it's not bad in game 1. And against all the Stoneforge decks, it's just the nuts. Like, if you can Chord for Night of Autumn and either Soulherder or Ephemerate, like, blink it even once, it's insane value. You're just crushing them. Hey, DV, welcome. In one of my good leagues recently, I partially beat Blue-White Control just because I jammed Night of Autumn as a 4/3. And they had to deal with it. And it's a nice option, having like a big beefy creature for 3 mana. It's the worst option, right? Like, we want to blow things up, we want to gain life. But having a failsafe as a 4/3 is pretty nice, I have to say. So ultimately, I think Teferi's just going to keep chilling in the sideboard because I enjoy having more creatures. Our deck is a creature deck. If it feels like it needs to be boarded out, obviously pretty easy just to swap something in. Who is adding me? Okay, yeah. All right, guys, and the sideboards just felt really tight. I love the Spore Frog technology with Chord of Calling, really cheap, really easy to go grab early in the game, potentially recycle infinitely with Eternal Witness and Blink. All right, guys, so everybody, thanks so much for joining me tonight. It's time for Monday Night Soulherder. I did 5-0 just earlier today with this list. For anybody who just joined me, didn't hear that earlier, this is the second 5-0 I've had with this list in the last week and a couple days or something, so not promising anything this evening except having a nice, chill, good time with some Soulherder. Last Wednesday's Merfolk stream, I was like drawing really weird, and I got in kind of a weird mood where I was being a little sarcastic, and I think I punted a couple times, and gonna try to avoid that. Just try to keep an even keel. Always look for our outs. You know, you can't help what's on top of the deck, but you can always help your outlook, right? Like you can be positive and focused. Yeah. All right, you just gotta let those negative moments sort of seep away. Just let them go. So one thing that's a little different from my list than some others is that it only has 8 2-drops, and they're all the snakes. It's 4 Ice Fangs and 4 Coatls. Sorry, Ice Fangs are Coatls. Ice Fangs and the other one, whatever it's called, Oracle, and they are the most important cards to have in your opening hand. Now, you might say, well, then don't you want to run more 2-drops? And honestly, I've just settled in this point here where they're not strictly essential in your opening hand. They just happen to be really, really good. And so opening hands that have them are going to be excellent. I got to open up my game log here. Opponent did mulligan to 6. All right, so we're going to start off by, let's see, we want to get blue-white over here. It might be awkward sequencing. We're going to play the birds. So I'll start with the Overgrown Tomb. We're going to take some damage here. I think this Canopy Vista is inevitably going to come in tapped. So I guess the point is I have felt pretty solid about the 8 2-drops. I know lots and lots of Soulherder decks are jamming like 12 or more 2-drops. So Steam Vents, tapped, could be Storm, could be a number of things. So we do have 3 mana here. I could just, ooh, that's a nice one. Could start with that. Could also just play Eternal Witness and get back a land right away, sort of maximize my mana. And then next turn we can cast the 2 snakes. I kind of like going for Eternal Witness here. I'm just going to get a basic island, get the land back. And next turn, we can go get maybe like a basic forest, and then we can play the Canopy Vista untapped. If it's Storm, I guess we'll have to see how things go. It could also be Blue-Red Prowess with a wildly slow opening. Hostage Taker is a cool one. I don't often draw that in the early part of the game. I could also just leave up Ice Fang and hard cast Force. But I do like running out Oracle here. So that's what I'm going to do, I think. I'll do it with the when I play my Misty first. I'm already falling a little behind on time. I'll do my best to sort of not fall too far behind. I will go get a basic forest here and play a second Coiling Oracle. They know that I have it in hand. So getting it out right now seems reasonable. We still have force up. Go ahead and hide that guy. All right, well, drawing well. Drawing well, just need to not get like crazy comboed out or something. I kept a 5-card hand against black-white tokens like yesterday, and I just slaughtered them like entirely. It was ridiculous. I had 2 snakes, 2 lands, and an ephemerate, and it was absurd. Like I kept drawing into more snakes. Like every single oracle ramped me, and I hit snakes and ephemerates and eternal witnesses, and it was just bonkers. So I didn't really comment on my force there, but I think that if this is prowess, which it kind of looks like at this point, Monomorphos usually leads into the Stormwing entity, so I'm kind of happy just to pitch a force. Oh, so it is Storm. Okay. I mean, it makes sense because prowess isn't going to keep that hand. Path, man, deck is hooking it up. I don't want the opponent to even possibly be able to remand this, so I'm just going to rip that right now. We can go blue. If I want to leave up, I just have to attack here and then just pass the turn. I play the Ice Fang, and it's still not a 2-turn clock unless they ping themselves this turn. Okay, that's reasonable, but if they go for anything right here, I'm just going to probably counter it. You know what? They could go for like a I'm gonna counter this right now. It might be a little bit greedy, I think, but I don't want them to get a storm count going and ping off all my creatures. The one thing we have going for us here is our board. Like an ephemerate gets back force. So I'm gonna cast this Coatl right now. And this is pretty scary stuff. Oh man, good draw. Okay, except not a good draw. I can't cast it. Well, I can get in with the 2 Eternal Witnesses. It's a 2-turn clock, but they are they're threatening to just win now. So awkward. I might even just attack with the 2 Oracles just cuz. Not sure what get 1 more point of damage in. Whatever, it's not. I don't think it matters, so I'm just going to say okay. Oh, this is so unfortunate that I don't have 1 more blue mana, so I feel like Storm is a difficult matchup, particularly in Game 1. Game 2, we have a couple more counter spells. We have Veil, which counters gifts. So just gonna lose here because I don't have my force up. But I only had an Ice Fang and a Birds in hand, so just main phasing the Ice Fang was the only real play to see what I draw. I did draw something very nice. An Ephemerate would have been the same because I could have gotten a force back but not a blue card. Oh, this is actually pretty sick if this is all they have. Because now if I get to untap with a Force of Negation, we're still in a good spot. Are they going to cast it again? All right. I mean, it's not immediately going to kill us, but it's scary. It's scary. So we do need a good draw off the top. Obviously, Deputy pretty solid. That counts. That counts. All right, opponent. Things are getting pretty spicy here. Which one of your brave goblins is going to get destroyed by my siege rhino? Actually, I guess this goblin would if you... Oh, no attacks. Opponent shook. So now I think I do still want to main phase this, because Ephemerate just wins the game. Oh, hey, you're right, Paintball Demon. There's always situations. I think I'm gonna go with, you know what? I can cast this at instant speed. They're stuck on 3 mana. They don't seem to have anything going on. If they do try to cast something, I can just force it, and then Flashing Coatl, untap, and do some nasty things. So, but if I Ice Fang now, and I draw like an Ephemerate, I can just go for it right away. And if they remand it, I can just cast it again. But I can just Ephemerate on their turn too, so no big rush. A situation where Hierarch buffs would be reasonable, but I wouldn't have flying then. With the birds. What do you got, opponent? Just pass in? I like it. I like it very, very much. Ephemerate. Give me that Ephemerate. 2 of my 3 Eternal Witnesses are already chilling in the graveyard. More blue mana is okay, but okay. Now it's extra okay. Super extra okay. Because I can't imagine. Maybe the opponent has 2 remands. I don't think it's... Oh, wait. What? Where's my other... Oh, there it is. It was hiding. All right. So I will fight over lightning bolts and such right now. What do you got? You got Grape Shot? Echoing Truth. Force. I want to win. I don't want to play around. I mean, getting your snaky boy bounced is not the end of the world usually, but letting Storm on tap could be pretty good for them. So we somehow got that game 1 against double cost reducer and both of their Storm spells. So Teferi is okay. It bounces, as you guys well know from previous streams, it bounces their enchantment. Veil is good specifically because gifts targets me. Of course, it could also hit like a remand, but it's more for gifts. Pithing Needle doesn't do anything. Celestial Purge could be okay to get rid of their enchantment. Disdainful Stroke definitely worth because gifts and Past in Flames, they're 2 most important spells. Ether Gust probably not good enough. Yeah, I like to win, it's true. Winds is okay for the goblins. It's kind of stupid, but if nothing else, it can just kill or exile, like, Baral. Maybe 1 Purge? Maybe 1 Purge. Let's think about it. Oro, usually not going to be super duper crazy relevant, so we can trim at least 1. Hostage Taker, also not that amazing. Can take their cost reducer, could be okay. Stonehorn, kind of bleh. I'm going to take out Stonehorn. Maybe that's true. Past in Flames, sure, I guess. Hostage Taker, I think I can ditch. They don't have too many targets, and we have paths and winds and whatnot. We take 5 cards out. I have to play a little bit faster than this. Misty comes out. Deputy Knight. Knight, probably not worth it. No, you know what? Knight is worth it. Purge, not worth it. We can trim maybe 1 herder. I like the birds. We don't have too many silver bullet things. I guess deputy for path I like. Trim 1 eternal witness, 1 cord, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I mean, we might want to trim 1 path. I let myself get a little bit low on time, and I'd rather have like some kind of functioning plan rather than make some like mistake. And this is beautiful. So I've just been learning more and more and more about the archetype as I've been playing this deck over the last month. 4 lands, totally fine. Like whatever. You have to imagine first of all, if it was a mull to 6 and you had the 6 cards on the right here. Obviously a snap keep. And I was saying earlier, I only had the 8 snakes at the 2-drop spot. So very important to sort of prioritize hands that have a 2-drop in it. So opponents starting with 7 cards. We're going to keep our 7 as well. Well, Winds does answer all the goblins, right? So it's not just a worse path, so we probably shouldn't say that. Land sequencing. Let's get our thinking cap on. This depends on if I draw birds or not. No opening Serum Visions or anything. Birds would be awesome. Turn 2 Teferi would be pretty good. We can bounce their cost reducer if they do have it, which I'm sure they do. Not unhappy to see a Coiling Oracle, but you know that Storm is a deck that can go off on turn 3, so we do have to draw well here. A Force would be excellent. If I play the island, play an Oracle, ramp into white, and next turn just draw like a path or something, that would be another good sequence of draws. Just ripping a path off the top. Or if they play... Oh. I have to say, like, when Storm plays slowly, it's like one of those nice opportunities to try to capitalize, win the game. They could have a Mystical Dispute, but I feel like I have to take the opportunity to ramp with Coiling Oracle. Like, if they Mystical Dispute the Oracle, they're probably not going to Mystical Dispute the Teferi. Sick. Okay. So let's see what they do. They haven't done anything yet. Which means they could play their cost reducer now and go off, but I'm going to force their hand here. I'm going to go get another blue source. Another white source. I'm going to go for Ephemerate. Remand is fine, but if they have like a bolt for Oracle, I'm totally fine. Means we can probably resolve Teferi. Although, Ephemerate is bonkers with Teferi on the board. But we really want to get Teferi down, so let me go for this now. Let's see what the opponent has. I mean, if it's just Remand, it's totally fine, right? What do you got, opponent? Lightning Bolt, a Braid? Fine. Fine. It is a 2-for-1 in their favor, but we've got card draw in hand. They didn't Mystical Dispute the previous turn, and there's a Force, so... All right. Now, Teferi doesn't necessarily just win the game, but it's really good. They're gonna main phase this opponent. Feels bad, man. I don't know what's better here. I feel like Coiling Oracle is better, but maybe not. Whatever. So let's get a... I took out Hostage Taker. I've only got the Siege Rhino in the deck. I think just getting more blue, more green makes more sense. Green, I guess getting green-black couldn't really hurt us in this spot. Bird's sort of okay. Although, I feel like maybe just leading with Coatl is better to see what I can draw. Could even bounce it with Teferi, but I'd rather not get Teferi into bolt range, so... don't love all these lands that we're drawing, but we can start bouncing the Ice Fang next turn. That would draw us 2 cards, in addition to the card that we'll draw for the turn. Assuming, of course, that the opponent doesn't just win right now. So, more good cards. Force of Negation, Eternal Witness. Opponent might be going for... Oh. Yikes. I mean, they don't have a lot of resources. We don't know what they've got in hand. It's possible they don't just win here. They were on the play. They've got the bolt in hand. Sorry, in the graveyard. Another Monomorphos. Are they just going to manual... Well, I guess they have a Baral at this point, so it's not really like... I think they've got the Grape Shot. They're just going to, like, one-shot me. Bolt to the face. All right, guys. That's unfortunate. Opponent let us do a lot of stuff. We countered the Past in Flames. Not the Past in Flames, the gifts. Maybe I was a little bit conservative with Teferi. Since I was so low on cards, I could have down-ticked him to draw. Probably would have been better. But we'll be on the play for game 3. And we'll see how it goes. I can just scoop. This is okay. Don't need to waste your guys' time. Don't need to waste the opponent's time. So... I think keeping in all the removal is fine. I will bring back in my land. I think we just drew a little bit weird, or didn't, just kind of flooded a little bit. So I just have to trim 1 card here. And I think just trimming 1 path is probably fine. Yeah, but T-Luff, they're gonna go for it in that spot no matter what. So getting the birds out, at least if I draw like a Chord of Calling, maybe I can chord for something. I can chord for an Eternal Witness and have extra mana to cast things from the graveyard. This is a keep. This is beautiful. Quite a nice hand. Though I do like the train of thought, like trying to represent that I have something. Opponent's mulliganing to 5. Like, T-Luff, can you imagine a Storm player not going off because of the possibility that I might have a counterspell? Probably not going to happen. Turn 2 Teferi. It's happening. Okay. Okay, well, we'll just bounce that thing. It's totally fine. Oracle is nice. Can draw some cards. Deputy, very, very good in the matchup. It's a hand where basic white is probably not the best. So I think getting like Hallowed Fountain is probably good. Since that's the case, I'll just run the Oracle out with the birds. Nice. There's that basic white I was just talking about. And now we can get, we could get Canopy Vista untapped, but we definitely need blue mana here. So just going to pass the turn. Brawl again. Okay, at post bounce. Okay. So that can, of course, get deputied next turn. Something like an Ephemerate would be a really good draw. Opponents casting Serum Visions, I'll let you guys know. They went top. A little bit frightening. But things, so far, kind of under control. Gonna get an untapped Hallowed Fountain right now. And an Ephemerate off the top would help us dig significantly deeper, so that's probably the best draw here. Maybe a Path would also be good. Force is also good, so... Okay, let's not forget about activating Teferi. So, we don't have the Ephemerate to protect Deputy here. We would... So I think I just like casting Winds here on Baral. Just get in for 2, hold up Hardcast Force, or even just like something like Disdainful Stroke and then whatever. Like, oh, you know what? I can cast this on their turn and they can't respond. So I will upkeep it. For sure. Oh, but then I can't attack for 2. But I prefer to not give them the extra mana, particularly if they're on a mulligan. So I'm going to attack here. Cast Winds of Abandon on their upkeep. Teferi just doing a great job. One of the few times I've cast Winds of Abandon on the opponent's turn. Doesn't come up that often. Yeah, I definitely got a good hand this game. And the opponent's mulliganing, so let's see what they've got here. Land and what? I don't hate just forcing this. You know, we're just gonna like whittle down their cards. They can never respond because I have Teferi on the board. Card. Give me a good card. That's one of the best cards. Let's not forget about Teferi. So this match is so far 1-1. We're going to pass the turn. See what the opponent can try to get going. Okay, sweet. Disdainful Stroke is a beautiful answer to that. Really, like an Eternal Witness would be the best draw at this point, or a Chord to get an Eternal Witness so that we can start looping Ephemerate and getting things back from the graveyard. But we do get to draw tons and tons of cards right now, which is quite nice. Okay. We go for Oracle, even though it tells them what we have, because if we hit lands, we'd love for them to just get spewed out onto the battlefield like that. So I will do the same exact thing on the upkeep, targeting the Oracle. Now, I mean, Ephemerate is nice to be able to sort of blink something in response to a removal spell, but we've got more Ephemerates in the deck. So I do like how Teferi is making our counter spells amazing. So I'm just going to keep ticking him up for now. I know it was a little bit conservative in the first, or maybe in the last game there. But at this point, the game is sort of well in hand, and I think playing bird seems good. The opponent obviously doesn't have a ton of stuff in their hand because they just kind of passed last turn, I think. All right, so another land. And not very much. I think I'm just going to continue the same value plan here of just blinking the oracles. Or singular. Okay, there's another land. We get to thin the deck a little bit. Overgrown Tomb seems fine. Okay. Okay, so we're not getting tons and tons of value. The ephemerates are awesome, obviously. Now, if they have some kind of removal for Teferi, I've always got an Ether Gust. So this might be an opportunity where I can just bounce like an Ice Fang and hold it up on the opponent's turn. So, or even just main phase it right now. Too many lands. I'll go get the Canopy Vista. Play the Ice Fang. Okay, that could be another immediate redraw, but let's let the opponent try to answer it, I guess, and then maybe play it out next turn. Okay, it's a slow clock. We still have a counterspell in hand. We've got a path if they have a cost reducer. And remember, Ether Gust can just target like a bolt or something right now. I'm not sure how much we care about Teferi. But the opponent could have like 3 Remands in hand or something like that, you know? Really just, I mean, if we can get an Eternal Witness to have access to the graveyard, obviously Court of Calling immediately gets us an Eternal Witness. That would just be game over. We've been digging pretty aggressively to try to hit an Eternal Witness. Oh man, opponent's just passing the turn. Feels bad. But it's Storm, and they can win out of nowhere. That helps a little bit, I think. Helps a little bit. Because, remember, gifts target, so that's just another counterspell for gifts. So it's sort of massive in that respect. Okay. I mean, I'm kind of... I could attack for 1 more every turn if I play the Deputy, but I'm holding it for Goblins. We are at a relatively low life total. Don't feel super endangered, though, right now, given the state of our hand. I guess we'll have to see how it goes. Opponent continuing to pass the turn. There we are. All right, GG. I've got a lot of mana. So for those of you somewhat unfamiliar with the deck, in situations like this, you can just basically cast all your ephemerates, and then you're just going to get crazy value every subsequent turn. And I'm going to do this right now and grab a Force, which lets me hold up double counter spells. And yeah, things going pretty well. Don't know if the opponent is just drawing like counter spells. Ritual. I mean, sure. Like bolting face. Bolting face. I think I might want to Ether Gust that, I guess. I mean, going to 9, not the end of the world. Veil doesn't counter lightning bolts. Right? So that's all good, man. I make the same mistakes all the time. So yeah, Ether Gust is whatever. It's just saving me 3 life. The opponent almost certainly has some storm spell they're trying to cast. If it's goblins, it's totally fine. If it's Grape Shot, maybe they can kill a bunch of my board. Yeah, people think that Veil can do literally everything. It can't do literally everything. Opponent's got me in a bit of a spot here. If they go for like gifts, we can Veil and then hold up like alternative casting cost with Force. So we still, in a sense, have double counterspell past Ether Gust still up. So they put it on top. We've got 5 damage coming next turn, probably just 3 though. We are going to get back both of our counterspells with Ephemerates. I hope it's goblins because that's just like the most fun of all possible outcomes. Like just play a bunch of goblins. I did, look, to be honest, I did think about Veil. I was like, should I give myself hexproof? I was like, nah. So opponent with 6 mana, 4 cards in hand. I'm at 12 life. We've got Veil and Force up. Bolt again. I think that one's probably fine-ish. What is Storm Count now? Storm Count is 3. I mean, this is fine, whatever. 3 damage, right? Opponent apparently keeping their powder dry, just stocking up on lightning bolts while I'm burying them in value. All right, so they didn't have a plan when they cast that lightning bolt since they're still deep in the tank here. Grape Shot. 4 spells cast before it. A little bit rough. Potentially going to lose some of our dudes. But I don't think it's the end of the world. Let's see what they're doing here. I think I'm probably going to force the one targeting Eternal Witness unless they're smart and went double target. Let's see. They're all in the stack now. So Snake, 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 Witness, Witness. Smart opponent. Well done. So then we do need to get value off of our rebounds. So I do need to counter something. So I think I'll just go with one of these ones targeting a snake. Now, hang on, I gotta make sure. That one. This one. And I'm just gonna hard cast it. Could be stupid, but I don't know. All right, so it's going to slow our clock down, but they are at 8 life. We do have a Siege Rhino still in the deck. 2 more Eternal Witnesses in the deck. 7 minutes is more than enough time. Land is suboptimal. Going to wait to crack, though. We know the opponent topped a Lightning Bolt. Okay, so we're going to start by playing this Ice Fang Coatl, I think. Force is awesome. Another counterspell. I guess we could take Teferi down. We do have another Teferi in hand. Eternal Witness is nice. A little awkward in this spot without my... let's see, I've got a whole bunch of mana. I think getting Eternal Witness on the board is probably correct. Get back Ephemerate, and I'll just hold up Ephemerate this time, I think. I think blue, blue, green here. We're going to have to pitch something, I think. So I'll pitch one of these Path to Exiles. It's sort of redundant at this point. Remember, the opponent has a Bolt. I do have to play a little bit snappy. Past in Flames? Maybe not. They have a Bolt, I know. And they know I have Ephemerate, so it'd be kind of weird if they went for it. We could always just Ephemerate and grab Force in response. Okay, opponent got tired of battling all of this crazy value here, so this can very much be a prison deck often. So we got round one. Let me run to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So, you guys want to think for just a second about how that went and what we could have done differently or better? They didn't play any permanents really, so Deputy not particularly relevant. Always something that I can pitch to Force. If the opponent went for anything scary here, the idea, I guess, is Ephemerate Eternal Witness, get back Force, cast it, and pitch probably Teferi, since this Teferi just seems pretty comfortable over here, and with access to the graveyard, we can always just get it back at any point, so if this one ever died. I didn't misplay with Veil, so that's nice. I feel like all my decisions were pretty tight. Could have attacked for 1 more point of damage in game 1, but it didn't end up being very relevant, I don't think. Overall, just a really nice match against Storm. Really showed off sideboard tech well. We made good use of these 2 blue spells. Winds, we were able to cast it at instant speed with Teferi on the opponent's upkeep, so that was fun. Beyond that, yeah, just drawing cards, getting stuff back from the graveyard, bouncing creatures. That's what we do. So anybody late to the stream this evening, this has been my list for the past month or so. I have gone 5-0 twice since not 3 days ago Friday, but the Friday before that. Like, I think that Friday I went 5-0, and then just today I got another 5-0. So this Friday, there should be... I can't imagine like such a spicy Soulherder list not making it onto the league posting that they'll make on Friday. I did 5-0 with Merfolk last week and didn't make it onto Tuesday's league posting, but it's possible that, I think because I did it on Monday, maybe it's just delayed until Friday. But if it happens on Friday, I could potentially have my name twice, once for Merfolk and once for Soulherder. This is such a painful opening hand because double snake is amazing. I'm on the draw, so I've got 2 looks for any kind of fetch land before I'd even want to cast an Ice Fang. It's really, really sketchy, and it's virtually a mulligan to 6 anyway because Siege Rhino's not coming down anytime remotely soon. But if I get a fetch, I can go get green-white. I think I have 10 fetches in the deck, like 4 Misties, 4 Windswept Heaths, and 2 Prismatic Vistas. It's borderline, but you have to take everything into consideration. Like, we're on the play. We've got 2 of our best cards in the opening hand. I'm going to mulligan, I think, but there are definitely matchups and situations where I would keep this. Like, if I was playing against a matchup where it was like a really bad matchup, I would keep this because in that case, you want to give yourself the possibility to have a nut hand like through variance. So, but since it's an unknown opponent, I think we can mulligan here. And this is gas as well. So the deck being kind to me this evening. Opponent's keeping 6. And I think that with the Oracle, we can afford to bottom one of these lands. Since I'm probably just going to get a basic island anyway, I think I'll just bottom the Windswept Heath. So we're going to keep here, bottom the Windswept Heath. Sometimes bottoming lands can feel really bad, but we're on the draw. All of this matters. Like the fact that I've got an extra card draw to try to get my land draws going. Okay, well, this is beautiful. We at least have a counterspell in game 1, and the opponent did mulligan to 6. So let's see if they've got any Lotus Blooms. They do not. Birds are so good here. What a good draw. What a really, really good draw. Oh God, this is This means that our counterspell should be extra good, I think. This is Jeskai Ascendancy. So, let's see how it goes. Deputy can't get that because it has hexproof. I think the play for me is just to grab a land with Eternal Witness. Just to make sure we can keep hitting our land drops. Speaking of land drops, we could also just go Oracle Birds now, which seems fine with the idea of leaving up a pitch Deputy. I think that's probably better here because we're advancing our mana with Birds right now, actually ramping. We can ramp twice this turn. Seems nice. Hey. All right. So we are ramping twice. It doesn't matter a ton in this spot, just because we do need one more card to really get things going here. Is the opponent going to miss? They've already used, what, Gemstone Mine twice here? So is it just going to get blown up if they use it again? So they went bottom there. Mana Confluence. Well, that's clock. It's gonna start clocking them. You know what? I'm going to let this resolve and then counter the thing that they actually get. And I'm just going to leave Force up, like hardcast, and then I can get it back with Eternal Witness. Well, it could actually... I mean, Eternal Witness getting back land is just kind of pointless here. Whereas Eternal Witness getting back Force is gas. So we can't bank on drawing a Soulherder or an Ephemerate, which would make Eternal Witness now the better line. Opponent doesn't even have a third mana. Oh, they do have the third mana, but not a third land. So I guess they could have some kind of counter spell in hand. Seems unlikely. Veil would be a blowout. But then they're tapping out for this turn, which should be okay. Okay, well, we're getting there. Need to stop drawing lands at some point, though. Might as well leave the Nah, you know what? I think that, like, I've learned that kind of bluffing lands, or bluffing spells and not playing lands. We want to get as many resources on the field as possible, so as soon as we draw an Eternal Witness or Court of Calling, we can have access to lots and lots of resources. I'm going to attack with the Coiling Oracle and exert dominance. Maybe the opponent will play around some kind of... Oh! Do they have Cling to Dust or something? That would be amazing. What do you got, opponent? What do you got? Okay. All right. They're putting that on top of my library. Interesting. All right. Well, now I get to attack and not even, like, funny style. You know, at this point, I feel like I should probably just play the Deputy for no value, just to have an attacker, and I can just blink it whenever I want to. It does kind of reveal my last card, but this raises the point that somebody mentioned earlier against Storm. Like, if this player can actually go off next turn, they're going to do it. They're not going to play around whatever I might have in hand. So... actually, hang on a second. It's very possible with 2 cards in hand that they could play Jeskai Ascendancy and not be able to actually go off, in which case Deputy can grab Jeskai Ascendancy. So pump the brakes, pump the brakes. Yeah, but again, Tilaf, like, you see these lines, but the opponent... Oh, Jesus. So now, all right, well, they've got 2 cards in hand. They've got to draw extremely well. Like, representing Night of Autumn. Okay, this is sick. Okay, they're not trying to go off here. So now we're drawing the Force, and we get rid of Jeskai Ascendancy. All right. So I'm sorry, to finish my idea, not attacking. Like, attacking just is going to help us win the game. Representing something we don't have when the opponent is in, like, a crazy hole and they just need to do whatever they can to not lose. That's you know, we should be attacking. And no reason, no, I mean, I don't think it matters too much. They're not going to be able to kill my birds. So now the opponent's at 14 instead of 15, again, since I attacked last turn. And remember, I guess the main point is they're going to play the Ascendancy whether I have a chord in hand or not, right? So... And they're not even thinking about Court of Calling. Nobody knows what cards are in my deck. I think I'm, like, in the minority of people who play Soulherder playing Court of Calling. Do they have another Jeskai Ascendancy? Is this this is the 3rd one out of the top 14 cards in their deck? Oh, Engineered Explosives, eh? I can't see a reason to let this resolve. They blow up my dude. They get back their ascendancy. So yeah, I'll just counter that, whatever. I mean, they're trying to kill my Eternal Witness as well, which I'm going to obviously try to be getting value off of. Decent draw, because if they play an Ascendancy, I can just Ephemerate and grab both. I could also, alternatively, just probably just want to Ephemerate Eternal Witness and get back Force. That might just make the opponent scoop. That's definitely the play here. The question is whether we actually let them go for something. Oh, what's happening? Okay, well, maybe I'm going to wait a moment now. I'll play in response to whatever the opponent does. Interesting. So I could just Ephemerate, but I think that Ephemerate getting back Force is slightly better because it gets the path, like, out. Out of their graveyard. So they did not have a third Jeskai Ascendancy. They had that Engineered Explosives for 3. So we are going to catch the rebound on the Ephemerate. We just need the opponent to not win this with this turn. They've only got 2 cards in hand. I'm sorry, what are you saying about JAC? Oh, they're on Breach. Okay. Let's see. Should be able to get back Ephemerate, which then obviously gets back the Force. It's a little greedy. We could... Oh, opponent scooping? Seems like they're scooping. All right, sick. So Jeskai Ascendancy is a red card, so we will want to bring in Ether Gust again. Winds of Abandon is interesting because it even kills hexproof creatures if we overload it. Pithing Needle is nah. They just use mana abilities, right? I guess Fate Stitcher is something we can name with Pithing Needle. Does every list still run Fate Stitcher? Do they try to win with? They try to win with combat, right? So Teferi seems okay. It bounces. So is worship okay then, since they win on combat? Seems like it might be okay. In which case, Spore Frog might also be okay. Oh, Flesh and Blood. So it's like, is that a fling? That's a fling, right? I'm not sure what the Breach plan is. Is it like Emrakul? Purge gets rid of the Jeskai Ascendancies. Oh, Underworld Breach. Okay, cool. That's another thing that Purge hits. So, all right. Let's focus. Sorry, is Pithing Needle good? Do they all play Fate Stitcher or no? All right, hang on a second. We need to take some stuff out. Uro, probably not a matchup where Uro's that important. Hostage Taker can't target their hexproof dudes. I'm gonna take Hostage Taker out. Venser seems good. Stonehorn, probably not. Siege Rhino helps us finish. Oh, all right. Well then, we'll play Pithing Needle and we'll name Fate Stitcher. Seems reasonable. I will go ahead and trim Siege Rhino since we're either going to win or not win. I don't think Siege Rhino is going to be the difference maker. Trim. Oh man, this is tough. A Birds. I'm on the draw. I'll trim a Misty Rainforest. We don't have too many silver bullets that we need. I guess we do kind of have Knight and Deputy. So we do. Let me trim an Eternal Witness. And we'll see how it goes. Thanks for the info, T-Luff. Very helpful. And Horny Vegan, welcome to the stream. This is a keep. Super important to have the monodorks. I mean, not the monodorks, the snakes. Monodorks, whatever. And obviously I have a counterspell too, which is pretty clutch. Just need to stop drawing lands. That would be more clutch. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Well, having a lot of lands makes Winds of Abandon pretty good. Oh my god, deck. Stop it. Stop it right now. Okay. If it's not a land, it's a Birds of Paradise. This is the way this deck loses. I feel like if I draw like anything semi-reasonable, I've been crushing. Oh. All right. So now we would prefer to hold up Hardcast Force, right? So Misty getting basic island seems reasonable. I'd love to play out my Birds of Paradise. But I mean, maybe we can play out the Birds of Paradise and just hold up Ether Gust. It seems better, right? Because they can't. If I Ether Gust it and they have another ascendancy, they can just. And this plays around Veil also, right? So I think I will play Birds and leave up Ether Gust. In which case, I do just still want to get a basic island here, I think. Opponent. So yeah, this is Ether Gust time, I think. Because again, if they have another one and another land, Yeah, but I mean, Monomorphos here just makes 2 mana, right? They need to have another land, and they need to have another Jeskai Ascendancy. Oh, you're saying, yeah, but they need another land too, right? I see the Morphos would draw into the, that was the idea. So, do we have, the thing is, if I gust this, then I can just counter it next turn. Making effective use of both of my spells. But just countering it now would be nice. This is definitely a deck that would probably want to bring in Veil. In which case, Ether Gust is kind of the nuts. Because it doesn't get got by Veil. At least not right now. Force would get got by it. But we just lose if it resolves, right? So I'm just going to cast Ether Gust and we'll see how it goes. Information, if the opponent puts it on top, it probably means they don't have another one in hand. So we'll have to see how it goes. They put it on top. They do have another land, but they wouldn't have put it on top if they have another one in hand, right? All right, well, there it is. Let's draw Deputy off the top, I guess. But they have another one on top? Ugh, or they're drawing it next turn? Ridiculous. I mean, we do have a force if they try to go off. What is it? Noxious putting an opt on top of their deck. Sure, I can't do anything about it. So a Cord is good, a Knight is good, a Deputy is good. Oh, they got more mana now. That's fun. Oh my goodness. Well, we know that they have another Ascendancy on top of the deck, right? Oh, did they put it on the bottom now? I guess I didn't see what they did do with the opt, so anyhow. Oh, did they discard? They discarded opt? Yeah, I must have missed it. They got to loot with Jessica. Okay, we got to untap. All right, so we still have a force. We're not totally dead now. I mean, we're pretty close, but we've drawn way too many lands. Way, way, way too many lands. Deck. Stupid. I mean, at this point, I think I should start thinning, so I'm going to play my fetch. And I guess I'm just countering whatever they play. So for those of you guys who have more experience playing against this deck, I've played against it a few times, a lot of times, but they're going to get to loot here. And I guess we'll see what they discard. But just letting them resolve opt seems like they just get to draw more cards. So, I mean, fingers crossed, I guess. They pitched a land. We, at this point, you know, like getting an Eternal Witness keeps us in the game. Obviously, I said Knight. Chord gets us in the game. Serum Visions. Okay. Well, that is going to draw them a card. And, you know, see if they get to keep going here. What do they do with the Serum Visions? Oh, they have a Fate Stitcher in the graveyard now. So, Pithing Needle, potentially sort of useful-ish, I guess. Fate Stitcher. Okie dokie. Now, this just untaps stuff, right? Untap. Okay. Oh, Glittering Wish. What are they doing here? Huh. All right. So, what are they wishing for? Breach, I guess, right? Is that... Scars. I guess we're learning cards here. Oh, they're tapping my birds. Okay. You got it. Do your thing. Is this deterministic at this point? Oh, they're drawing 2 cards. All right, they're trying to get ahead. So I let them tap the birds. I'm all out, so I'm just going to go get... I'll just get green-white for now. Who cares? Go for it, opponent. Yeah, they can whiff, right? They can totally whiff. They can just hit 2 lands, 3 lands. I mean, we're also a couple minutes behind on clock, so let them do their thing, you know? They went bottom. Well, bottom top, so... I mean, they are in the situation that they want to be in. But I mean, look at how I've drawn, right? It's totally possible just to draw poorly, so it's very unlikely, we can say. If this guy gets to 18, right, just tap my creature and they went bottom top, so they're still doing okay. Opponent is at least sort of reasonably fast with their deck. So yeah, it does look like Pithing Needle is a good call. Glittering Wish. And, you know, for me, this is educational. I get to see what I want to try to stop in Game 3. Treasured Find. We got to look at that card. So they got Treasured Find in hand. So, all right, Cerulean Wisps. It's not Treasured Find. That's fine, T-Luff, but I've explained already that I'm just sort of seeing what cards they play at this point. Maybe they run 4 Fate Stitchers instead of 3 Fate Stitchers. It's not all about the clock. Just sort of seeing what they're doing. I like to learn. All right, so they've realized that, you know, they've got enough there. So okay, well, we ridiculously flooded in that game. If we hit a single Eternal Witness or something, we would have been able to sort of stay in it. So, and all these kinds of combo decks are pretty middle of the road because as far as matchups and favorability goes, because we can draw all of our counterspells, and then it's just... So I was asking if combat is important, and it seems like it is important, right? Like, shouldn't I have Spore Frog and Stonehorn in the deck? I guess they can wish for the thing that does the stomp, or the fling, I guess I should say. Eternal Witness should be in the deck, I think. I want all 3 of those. They can kill without combat. All right, maybe you're right. Maybe I keep that out. I kind of like ramping on the play. I'll keep that in. Need to trim 3 cards though. Maybe Winds of Abandon is a little bit greedy. Maybe Teferi might be a little unnecessary. They can just replay the Jeskai Ascendancy. Maybe trim one Teferi. You guys let me know how you feel about Teferi in this matchup. I like ramping with Venser because I can just put them behind and keep them behind. Winds of Abandon require 6 mana, and these games are usually ending before 6 mana. Like, I had a million lands and I wasn't getting to Winds of Abandon, so I think I can comfortably take that out. Wait, Path to Exile is so bad. Why aren't you guys telling me about, like, taking Path to Exile out? That's ridiculous. Like, all right, 4 paths out. What can I bring in that's better? Teferi is better. Totally missed path. Thank God I didn't draw that. And drew all my lands instead. So maybe one Uro kind of helps us ramp a little bit, and then maybe Siege Rhino just kind of kills them. And we'll run it like that. Keep removal for dorks. Yeah? What? All their dorks have hexproof. Fine, 2 paths. We'll take out one of the Teferis, and we'll take out the second Teferi. Don't love Teferi, because they just need 1 mana. So I bounce the Ascendancy, they play a 4th land, they replay the Ascendancy, and then they just go off and win. So not in love with Teferi in the matchup, even though it can bounce Ascendancy. Ugh, deck. Deck is trolling me. Make that a forest. Oh man, Knight is so good. I would snap keep this if that was a forest. But we have to mulligan. Sad day. Come on. All right, well, as I was saying, opponent's mulliganing as well. This is definitely a keep. We're going to keep, and we'll put the Witness on the bottom. It's a duplicate. Soulherder Witness is gas, so now we just need a 3rd mana source, and we should be really in a nice spot, I think. So I think that green-white is the call here. Although green-blue is nice if they have removal for the birds, then I only need... I think getting green-blue is probably the correct call here. All right, let's go, deck. Come on, you gave me 1,000 lands last game. I just want 1 more. I'm not asking much. Just asking for like a plane, even a plains, basic plains. Totally fine with me. I'll let you guys know how they scry. They went 2 bottom. Gotta love it. Remember, the opponent is on Mulda 6. Land. Blah. All right, well, I'm going to play that right now and draw land. Land. Oof. All right, gas. That's fine. We let that resolve. Teferi. All right, well, we're going to counter Teferi. That's fine. Okay. Another land. Super awesome. All right. So we're going to force the Teferi. So then do we want to just leave up Hardcast Force? Or do I want to get an Eternal Witness on the board? Pitching Ether Gust seems fine. And get a Soulherder down here seems pretty awesome. I am going to attack first. Blue card next turn would, or off of the this guy would be gas. Let's see. Come on, deck. Hook it up. All right, that's something. Gets rid of an Ascendancy. Opponent with the 3rd land. Another wish. Wishing for a land, maybe? Monomorphos. That's fine. I'm gonna let them cycle that. Sleight of hand. This is all totally fine. They can't get down the Teferi. Freaking amazing. Okay, if we get to untap with this situation, super duper ridiculously good. I'm going to protect the Soulherder if they have a bolt or something like that. I want to keep drawing lands, honestly. Give me lands. Lands all day. Birds are sort of lands. So we are going Eternal Witness here. We'll get back a land. That is a land. Okay. My request has been approved. We can get a... Yep, Purge is good. Also holding up Ether Gust. Dude, we're not going to crack this right now. We get Canopy Vista. Attack with both of my dudes. And I'm gonna blink the Ice Fang here. Another Eternal Witness. They are going to play Teferi most likely, and I'm going to force it immediately. Did they play a land? They did not play a land, but I'm just going to purge this, I think. I could just Ether Gust it. Purge is Veil Proof. Yeah, it is. But so is Ether Gust. But I do just like kind of trying to kill this thing right now. They could play a land, okay, they're not doing anything. Guys, I think we're running away with this. Nice. Peace out. Interesting that they would go with the Ascendancy over the Teferi, but I guess it is their plan, right? Lands. Deck is hooking it up. We're going to attack. Opponent scooping. It looks like maybe. No. I'm not scooping. Looked like it was jamming up like it does when they scoop. Getting in for 6. It would be a weird place to scoop. So we can just leave up like infinite interaction here. I can blink this guy, getting back Purge. Then I would have Purge, Force. Not everything up, but probably more than I need. So I probably should play Birds. And then I've got Purge plus Counterspell up. Seems fine. Prison deck. Prison deck beats combo deck. Do your worst with 2 lands, opponent. They're going to lose their Gemstone Mine as well. I think they mull to 6 with no Mana Dork. Yeah. Is this a Teferi finally? I say nay, opponent. Is this gonna... You guys place your bets now. Is this gonna prompt the scoop? I think they're gonna scoop here. I mean, technically they're not just dead. Yeah, alright, they scooped. Okay, cool. 2-0 so far, feeling pretty good. I think both rounds, it was like 2-1. I think play draw is obviously really important. The game that we lost against Ascendancy just then was like due to a massive flood. I always like to check how my opponents are doing in the league. That guy's got 5 trophies. That's sick. Makes me feel slightly better about myself when I beat people who are on 5 trophies. All right, so give me just 1 sec. I'll be right back. So I was just thinking a second ago, I'd like to look at the deck for a moment and just point out a few things. But before I do, some of you guys are obviously familiar faces. Horny Vegan, Paintball Demon, Ferdy, you guys support the stream every week. T Luff, I haven't seen you before, so definitely a huge welcome to the stream. Really appreciate all the suggestions and comments in the chat. If you guys like Soulherder, you want to see more Soulherder gameplay, you want to see the deck do well, I'd really appreciate if you follow my Twitch channel. I'm doing my best to get some kind of sponsorship going so that I can do a few things. First of all, increase exposure. Having a sponsorship just puts me on kind of a team with other streamers, and you end up getting rated a lot more often, that kind of thing. But also, it just opens up like card rental possibilities. You get to rent cards for free with a sponsorship. So it's not all about a sponsorship. It's really all about the magic. It's all about the deck. But every follow that you guys hook me up with definitely goes a long way. If any of you guys aren't currently subscribed to the channel, it does cost a little bit. But if you have Amazon Prime, which like many people do, all you have to do is link your Twitch account with your Prime account. If you Google like link Amazon Prime and Twitch, it only takes like 2 minutes to actually do what you need to do. And if you do that, you can subscribe to one channel for free every week. Not every week, every month. So if you're willing to just spend 2 minutes right now, figure out how to link your Amazon Prime to your Twitch, you can subscribe to my channel for free, which helps me out, again, both just like growing the channel, getting sponsorships, but also eventually it becomes a small financial benefit to me as well. So with that out of the way, if you guys want to support Soulherder, if you want to support lesser known decks, brewing, it's sort of the heart of Magic, in my opinion. It's the most exciting way to play. Then follow my channel, subscribe to my channel. Now, a couple things about the deck that I want to make sure everybody watching sort of gets is that I'm on 60 cards rather than 80 with Urian as a companion. Now, the point about running the companion is crystal clear, right? Urian is a free card every game. I just need to pay 3 mana to get it in your hand, and it blinks your whole team. Seems like gas, right? Seems amazing. Now, I don't really have a huge problem in this strategy paying 3 mana to get Urian. I don't think it's a huge downside. In fact, you could even run Ether Vial to sort of mitigate the downside of having to pay to get Urian into your hand. What I do dislike, and this is with tons and tons of experience playing with Urian, both with the initial companion, the original rule, post changing the rule with Urian in my main deck in 60 cards for a little while. A lot of experience running Urian in every situation. Running 80 cards does increase the variance. It increases the variance a significant amount. And where that comes into play the most, obviously you could run the full playset of Court of Calling to mitigate it somewhat. Where running 80 cards comes into play the most is you draw Path to Exile far less often, and you draw Force of Negation far less often. These two cards are unique in the format. They just they do what they do the best. You can maybe play a couple of remands and a couple of whatever. You can play Assassin's Trophies if you're playing black. Just to increase the proportion of counter spells and removal if you go to 80 cards. But it is always going to mean that you're drawing fewer paths and fewer forces. And in fact, I had even semi-recently, like maybe a little over a month ago, been trimming on the paths, to add like, and the forces to add a couple extra 2-drops, maybe another flex slot, that kind of thing. But I was saying earlier in the stream that as I've been jamming this list over the past month, I've continued to learn. I've been playing Soulherder since last summer when it first became a deck. And, you learn something every single match, but I feel like I've been learning a lot in the last month. And one thing that I mentioned earlier was that opening hands with snakes, you have to super prioritize them. Like if you have 5 lands and 2 snakes, that's an absolute snap keep. Like you might think, oh, it's too many lands, I have to mulligan. No. Not a mulligan. Get something on the board. If you draw Ephemerate, these are like among the best targets. If you draw a Soulherder, play a Soulherder. Again, you need something on the board. It's going to draw you cards. It's going to get you out of that mana flood. So that's the first thing. But another really important thing that, again, sort of is relevant to what I was saying earlier is that these cards are really clutch. Just like there's so many prowess decks around. Path is the nuts there. There's so many combo decks. I've just played Storm and then Ascendancy. Force is the nuts there. Even control decks are playing Stoneforge Mystic now. You really want all 4 paths. You really want all 4 forces. Running 80 cards dilutes that. And yeah, that's the point I just wanted to share with you guys. So let me fill up my water real quick. All right, T-Luff, what do you got for me? 80 cards is for when Force isn't a card you want 4 of, but Goose is. That version is much better at pummeling fair decks and straightforward aggro. I'm sorry, are you talking about... You're talking about Soulherder with Goose? Is what pummels fair decks? Because this deck pummels fair decks. Like, we eat Jund for breakfast. It's a very easy matchup. It's a very favorable matchup. Like, green-red Panza, we destroy that. Actually, I think the... you can say that of either 60 card or 80 card. Like, the kind of value that we generate just makes us better than the standard, like, mid-range deck that you're going to play against. And yeah, I don't want to make sure I get your point here. Now Goose is a pretty fringe choice. T-Luff, do you actually play Soulherder, or are you just, is it theory crafting? Because Goose is a pretty rough card, because you use the mana once, and then many times in the entire mid game, it's just sitting there. You're using your mana to cast Snakes and Eternal Witnesses and Soulherders and Forces and casting all this stuff, and your mana dork is not creating mana. Yes, it pulls ahead against the fair decks, but it's not; those are not matchups that we need help against. So, oh, Attila, hey, welcome. I didn't recognize you. So, I know some people who play Soulherder really like Goose and have had really good experiences with Goose, but for me, the life gain against aggressive decks, I've already got a lot of life gain in this build. I've got 2 Uros, I've got Knight of Autumn, and I've got Siege Rhino. And remember, with 60 cards, I'm going to draw those cards pretty often. And then I've got the 2 Chords of Calling that if life gain is so clutch, I can just, go grab some life gain. All right, so I'm going to play at least one more match this evening. Maybe exactly one more match. If I win it and I'm 3-0, I might pick up the stream tomorrow and let you guys see the end of the league, because I don't want to leave you guys hanging if I end up 3-0ing this evening. But I don't often play 5 matches in a row. It's just, it's pretty taxing, and I played a bunch of Magic earlier today, and all of these games tend to go rather long with Soulherder, so on evenings when I actually play an entire league with Soulherder, it like my wife gets angry because I finish late and I eat dinner too late, and all of these things. So I think keeping it to a couple hours, the stream, potentially picking up tomorrow. This guy looks familiar. I may have actually played against him recently. My constructed rating is over 1800. I've been maintaining that just for the last couple weeks. It's been a while. I used to have it a lot with Merfolk. Do we see Gallows Humor on this list here? Nah. All right. So it's just probably. So they're starting with 7. Yeah, Ferdy, you get it. No white for paths. Yeah, I got a mulligan, unfortunately, but we are on the draw. This is a keep. It's a keep. It's a keep. It's awkward. We're gonna put Court of Calling on the bottom. If we draw a fetch, we're sort of golden. We might get run over in the meantime. We've got our 2 core colors with these 2 beautiful new snowlands. Okay, so what are we playing against here? Is it like Devoted Devastation, in which case, pretty nasty. Pretty nasty matchup. We do have a path, but we need to draw some white mana. Maybe it's a Soulherder player. I wouldn't mind losing to another Soulherder player. Well, that's promising. Are you playing Soulherder, Mr. Gallows Humor? Come on. Come on. Play a Soulherder right now. That would be awesome. Nah, it's probably just some stupid Bant deck. Oh, are we going to Ephemerate? Huh. If this is Soulherder, come on, Ephemerate. Who is this person? I don't know this person. Gallows Humor. I think that the... Ooh, that's sick. All right. So now... Ephemerate. They must have a snake in hand, an Ice Fang to flash in. So I am going to attempt to path their Ice Fang in response. Yeah, man, feels super good. Venser is gonna bounce my land, but I'm gonna path him, and I'm gonna counter the Ephemerate. Slows us down a little bit, but it's pretty good. I should have targeted my fetch opponent. That would have been the next level play. Turn 3 Venser is pretty good. Now drawing a snake would be kind of the nuts here. Yeah, birds into Uro, Ephemerate plus Venser is sick. Awesome. Oh, but they get to target their birds, so they get to keep the Ephemerate, which is a little unfortunate, but whatever. Definitely the correct play to not let Venser get blinked. Alright guys, we've effectively been slowed down, but we can represent we have a snake and try to not fall super far behind on time. They cannot play Uro yet, but they can play some good stuff, I'm sure. Sick. Okay, the Uber Nut draw continues. Nah, because we have path. Opponents just like they're playing tons of land, right? So it's not like they have. Wait. What did they get back? They got a land back. Does that mean they have another Ephemerate in hand? So I think it might be time to play our own Uro, because just like going Deputy on Eternal Witness seems suboptimal. I do have some Mirror Breaker cards in my Black Splash with Hostage Taker and Siege Rhino. And the opponent doesn't really know what I'm on yet. What? With the path! This is bonkers crazy town. So now they get to start like looping path with Eternal Witness. I guess we got another blue here. Might as well get some white. Whatever. What is going on? Alright, so this is our challenge, right? This is our challenge for the evening. We have to overcome the utter nuts in the mirror. Have to just pure power of skill. I guess we'll see how it goes. So we know that the opponent has the Ephemerate in hand. It's kind of rough. They can keep getting back path, but I'm not going to waste a lot of time right now. It's going to be very difficult to beat this. I have like one effect here. So this is, we know of 2 Ephemerates at this point. Opponents should probably just get back the Ephemerate here, but they got back the path. Seems I guess it's fine. It's fine because they have another Ephemerate in hand. At this point, like a force would be helpful, but knowing the opponent's hand, they probably have at least one force. Three drop is going to be another Uro. Cracking, okay. But one good thing about Eternal Witnesses is keeping their graveyard nice and trim. I need to draw some Ephemerates of my own to be able to start, like, battling. I could also just win on clock. That's, like, a legit thing. Yeah, you know, that's fine. Opponent getting way ahead. Yeah, no, I'm on top of the clock. I generally do a pretty good job with the clock. One good draw would be, well, maybe not really, because they have the Ephemerate in hand and they have 2 white up. Yeah, no, it's going to be hard to claw ahead here. We are indeed going to need to watch the clock, play wisely. Eternal Witness is pretty nice. I think I'll probably start with Uro. Like, Path isn't going to get me anywhere right now. They've got the Ephemerates, and I've got a high life total, so whatever. Are they going to Path? Probably going to Path, right? Weird choice, not pathing. Okay, well, come on, opponent, let it go. You've had a lot of opportunities to let it go. Keep letting it go, please. Let it go. Okay, they're not going to let it go. I do need to play something here, though. They do have the Ephemerate, so Deputy doesn't really do anything. So Stonehorn, I don't know. Maybe I'll just play Deputy as a 4/3 or something. I mean Knight. You know what? Might as well get the Eternal Witness out. Whatever. Thinking. Maybe they have a Cling to Dust in their hand. It's okay, opponent. It's okay. You have an Ephemerate in hand. No need to worry. So now if they go for the Ephemerate, that would be ridiculous. Not going to do that. So I'm going to try. Well, they've got double Ephemerate in hand now. Only 3 white sources, so I can like go for Deputy on Soulherder. They go for Ephemerate. You got it, opponent. 3 damage to the dome. Deputy on Soulherder. They go for Ephemerate. I go for Path. They go for Ephemerate. I need like another piece of. I need like another Path. But if they tap out white right now, like to Path my Ewit before I get, I mean, let's see how it goes. Okay, land not that amazing. So do I want to initiate a fight that I know I can't win? Probably not. I think I'll just play Stonehorn. Play my land tapped, pass the turn. You know, maybe I'll just play Knight of Autumn as well. Just get a chunky boy on the battlefield. Or maybe I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna play a 4/3. And yeah, we're like 45 seconds ahead right now, and not going to attack into a snake right here. Unnecessary. Okay, thin in the deck. Actually not thin in the deck, because we've got all of our basics out. Okay, so now Path is just like Swords to Plowshare. Oh, they have 2 paths. That's fun. This might end sooner than I thought, actually. I don't think I'm going to be able to draw this out, so kudos to the opponent here. I'm gonna say nice to see other Soulherder players! Exclamation point. How are you doing in the league so far? Question mark. You don't run into the mirror that often, so I should start thinking now about how to sideboard. Obviously, Winds of Abandon comes in. The question, I guess, is how many Force of Negations do we want to leave in? I think that they're okay, because Path and Ephemerate, you've got Graveyard Looping. Exiling key spells can be pretty clutch. Opponent just missed their attack, which is pretty dope. They still got at least like 4 mana, 4 white sources open. They've got another Ephemerate, so 2 Paths, 2 Ephemerates. We can start to fight just to have fun, I guess. Oh yeah, you're right. Cool. Deputy, they're gonna Ephemerate. 1-0 in this one. So opponent's got the Path. They can Path this in response so that Soulherder doesn't actually leave the battlefield. I'm not gonna win this fight. It's just, you know, taking some seconds out. I 5-0'd with this list earlier today. Should post on Friday. All right, so let's get this party started. They're almost certainly going to Path in response to this. Okay, Path, and then we Path. And then they Ephemerate, and then we Path, and then they Ephemerate. But we are going to reset the Soulherder, which is kind of fun. Are they going to force? If they have a force, we know that they have double Ephemerate in hand. What could their other cards be? Ephemerate, okie dokie. You know what? Hang on a second. I'm going to let that resolve. Why not? I probably save this. Well, the thing is, hold on. There. Gotta do what I gotta do. Opponent said nice reset on the Soulherder. We can't get any more basics, so we say no. And we just hope to get like time sinks from now on. They do have another Ephemerate in hand, so what? Hold on a sec. Oh, one of them is chilling in exile right now, so they do have another one in hand. So going for Soulherder on the Oh wait, is it what? I'm so confused. All right. Oh, this is my turn. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? I don't know. Whatever. Just like you go, opponent. My brain hurts. We've got this Path. It's another reset on Soulherder. I'm gonna Path my Eternal Witness. It's pretty good. But I'm gonna take a hit from Soulherder once at least. Wait. That's probably my post. Haha. Are you splashing black? I'm taking the damage here. The opponent said they were playing Burn, and they got tired of it, so they're trying out this list. Maybe that's where I know this person from. The Reddit thread or something. Oh, they are splashing black. What a stupid question. They have it out there. Wait a sec. Stop. Alright, whatever. You can take my Eternal Witness. I didn't see the tomb. This is amazing. This is quite a actually like a compliment here. I'm gonna try to Path the Soulherder now, so they don't get to go to the end step. Actually, whatever. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna let them play it out a little bit more. Just telling the opponent that my brain is a little fried, that they're just wrecking me. Jesus, they're like double ephemerate with hostage taker. We're probably, well, definitely significantly more experienced with the opponent than the opponent with the list, so we should be able to sort of leverage that experience. Double path, not terrible. Honestly, this is amazing. Like, I'm super honored that people see my list on Reddit and play it. Hasn't happened to me before. I guess it's probably happened with Merfolk in the past. You've had the best hand I have literally ever seen. And you're playing well. Makes it very difficult. He said he had a good hand. Reset. Currently, we're only approaching 3 minutes ahead on the clock. Would love to get a little bit further. Not really sure why he's not getting in with the Eternal Witness. I mean, obviously respecting the blowout, but he's got another Eternal Witness. Opponent says stop that, and I say nay. Gotta slow their roll here. It's all I can do. Opponent's a pretty fun person, though. They said stop that, LOL. So, come on, deck. A creature, maybe, so that they can steal it with hostage taker. So we've had no ephemerates, no Soulherders, but the opponent's just on like the utter nuts. It's been pretty amazing to watch. It's cool to be on the other side of the table here. The Soulherder mirror in a league on stream. You guys saw it here first, I guess. We're blowing up. So now, again, I can afford to take a hit or two. Don't need to burn the path yet. Opponent, it's like our currency here is time. I should, hold on, I'm gonna like bluff again, like I'm gonna bluff a snake, like I might do something and then back it up. Like make sure the opponent's not attacking with the Eternal Witness like they didn't do last time. Snaky time. Love it. Opponent has 7 cards in hand. Whew, 7 cards in hand. See, look at that. Respecting the snake. Love it. I am taking 5 here. It's not overly threatening. Am gonna let them go to the end step. I'm gonna crack my fetch in response to all this garbage. Try to take another few seconds off the clock. Opponents just about used half their clock, so if we can win game 2, we have a pretty good chance of getting through this one alive. Almost 4 minutes ahead. Oh, wait, stop. I'm losing track of, like, whose turn it is. Now they can take this with Hostage Taker, which is pretty nice, pretty fun for them. Eternal Witness is cool. Gets another Path to Exile, slows their roll a little bit more. We are at 6. It'd be cool if we got to live next turn. Very pretty Witness. I agree. Super duper pretty. Cling to Dust in response. Nah, I know the dude is playing my deck. That's awesome. Card for card. Maybe I can burn him out with Siege Rhino somehow. They're gonna blink and steal my creatures. That's cool. But I'm still just F6ing here. Oh, they're courting. That's dope. All right, what are they gonna court for? Siege Rhino. Oh man, losing to my own Siege Rhino. This is amazing. And they get to ephemerate it, so maybe they go for the ephemerate right away. I have the double path, I can try to fight over it. Come on, I'm saying okay. Oh, snap. Go for it, opponent. Go for that ephemerate. Oh, snap. Path number 1. They've got another ephemerate. But do they have 3 ephemerates? That is the question. Oh, snap. This is a screenshot moment here. Oh, we got it, guys. We're not dead yet. But there is one trigger trying to resolve. Both of these ephemerates going straight to the graveyard, not getting cast. But we're just dead on board. We're super dead on board. Opponent, just go to attacks, man. All right, wasting time. All good. I'm just hitting F6 as many times as possible. Cool. All right, well, we got out with 4 minutes ahead on the clock. Opponent with the crazy nut hand. I am going to sideboard really rapidly. Opponent has the worship, so this is going to be fun. Let's see if we can drag this out. Come on, let's go. MTGO. Okay. Trying to steal my sideboarding time. Let's go. Okay. So how do we roll here? Pithing Needle against us. Not useful. Not useful. Force, I'm probably going to trim 2 or so. Teferi is the nuts. So we're going to want to get that guy down. Worship is sick. Going to help us win with time. Winds of Abandon. Purge is too narrow. Let's see. I think Gust is probably worth it. And that's going to be it for the sideboard stuff, I think. Veil, not good enough. Spore Frog, probably not good enough. I'm going to take 2 forces out, and maybe Venser is a good way to get an early cheesy win. And I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick, so let me side. Trim an Uro. Don't trim an Uro. Knight, not great in the mirror. Can blow up their worship, but whatever. 1 Uro and 1 birds, and I'm going to be right back. Hold on. All right. No, it's okay. Worship is for time, basically. Opponent says they've lost 1 match to the clock, but I guess I'll just say the clock is a real consideration in this matchup. All right, so I would like to play first with exactly a 4-minute advantage. We have to mulligan. That's unfortunate. We're going to keep this, and we're going to bottom Deputy, I think. Opponent starting with 7. We're going to keep. We're going to bottom Deputy, and we'll say done. Land would just be super sick. But we've got the snake, so opponent with the ramp as well. Dirty. Okay, all right, well, things going slightly downhill again. Ugh, all right, well, Come on, deck. Mull and just lose. Opponent with the turn to Teferi or something. Coiling Oracle, it's a good card. Another Coiling Oracle maybe, or just passing. Reasonable. Ice Fang, just gonna jam it right now. Come on, deck. So no lands in like the top 3 or 4 cards. Are we getting path? Don't path me, opponent. A path would be too good for me. It would be ridiculous if they... Okay, no path. Come on. Snake and trade? Sort of fine. Snake and trade. We just need to win one game. Come on. Teferi bounce Soulherder seems fine. My own Soulherder would be fine, but it grows his Soulherder. It outpaces mine. Teferi first seems okay. Jesus. Ugh. Oh, that's... With no lands, I mean, it's like... sort of the best non-land draw I could hope for. If they flash in another snake, I'm going to ephemerate. In fact, well, I'm going to path the Soulherder right now. Actually, yeah, I'll path it right now. They could force on my turn. If they got a force, they're going to cast it. I'd rather they lose a card for it. Don't force me, bro. Please. Oh, he's thinking about force. Oh, it's taking too long. Don't take so long, opponent. Is going to ephemerate. That seems reasonable as well. Okay, alright, you have ephemerated. Fair enough. So now I ephemerate my own Ice Fang Coatl. And we get ready to lose, basically. I should have done that. I should have done that before the Soulherder. I guess, yeah, I should have done it before it came back. Not playing tight. But we're getting close to stabilizing with Worship, and they'll need an answer to it, and then we can just be like, play like a little bitch. Excuse my French. Opponent doing what? Now they can get Ephemerate back. We have not seen a path from them yet, so it's not just the end of the world yet, but it's pretty crazy. Oh, just what? What? You do not blink Oracle here. You blink Eternal Witness. Like, Ice Fang is better than random card. Oh. Okay, alright. Too many. Chord of Calling. Dude has a Chord of Calling right now. So he can chord for Night, which blows up Worship, which is rough. Can't chord for Venser right now. So I would like to get we know they have Ephemerate in hand. Ephemerate doesn't do anything against overloaded winds, though, so that is absolutely a plan. I think just to Ferry here. I mean, opponent says no. Opponent says no. Ephemerate in response just to get the snaky in hand. Snaky snake. Come on, opponent. You know you want to do it. Or just you want to think about it. Take your time. Ooh, okay. We do like lands. We do like lands. Right. Give those lands. Opponent still has Ephemerate. They chose not to go for it. So I think we blink this thing, and then we just lose our Teferi. Sort of okay, we're catching up. Drawing cards. Bouncing dudes. No, but this dude saw my post on the Modern subreddit. Another Teferi. Not terrible. That means I can let this Teferi eat it. Not blocking with the birds. If we draw a land, we get to Overloaded Winds of Abandon, which sort of digs us back. He's certainly going to recommit the Soulherder. Go after the Teferi. Seems like he might have taken out his Force of Negations. Both creatures at Teferi. Got to do it, right? You got to do what you got to do. If opponent took out Force of Negation, we could be in a reasonably good spot. So, Soulherder. Maybe Siege Rhino. Maybe, well, don't play Hostage Taker taking away my Birds of Paradise. That would be dirty. All right, so no plays out of the opponent right here. So Path to Exile again. We can just play another Teferi. Let's see. Well, so there's that land. I feel like in this spot, just keep playing Teferis, make them overextend, and then finally, once they've committed like tons and tons of resources, we can try to Winds of Abandon. I could... well, let's just see how this goes, I guess. All right, so we're probably not going to be able to protect the Teferi, so we're just trying to get card advantage out of it. Oh my god, Yellow Hat. With the raiding party. Path to Exile, sad face. So yeah, nothing I can do about that. Welcome everybody to the stream. This is amazing. I'm extremely flattered. So we're gonna go get more green because you can never have too much green. Teferi's trying to resolve here. Sorry guys, I'm a little bit focused at the moment. We don't really care too much about defending Teferi. We're sort of working towards overloading wins, and we just want the opponent to overextend a little bit more. So just drawing cards seems fine to me, honestly. Again, there's no way to protect this guy right now, so just return the Soulherder. For those of you just joining me, this is actually my list that the opponent saw on a Reddit thread that I made recently. So putting out a blocker is actually quite nice because it makes them like throw all their creatures at Teferi and not at my life total. So the opponent saw my exact list on a Reddit post and is just running it out. He's usually on Burn. So if you guys want to like Google this guy, Gallows Humor, we can see if he has tournament results. He seems to be playing pretty tight in general. We'd love for him to play like 2 or 3 creatures here. Well, actually, he had the... All right, so they are going all out at Teferi. Opponent... Oh, they're going partially to my face, which is sort of okay. Gabe, thanks so much for the raid. I was saying very, very honored to have you guys here. I'm sure if you guys are watching Gabe's stream, you know that he's like the founder of Modern Soulherder. So like I'm kind of shaking a little bit right now. All right, so how do we slow them down a little bit more? I guess we just cast Winds, right? Then we got Eternal Witness to just get it back. We're like 6 minutes ahead on the clock. We could also just play Worship and make them like... But they could just have Knight in hand. I don't see any downside to just Windsing right now. Seems pretty good. Opponent seems to be off of Force of Negations. If they have a Force here, that's a huge blowout. Also, for you guys who are just joining me right now, I have currently about 160 followers. I've been doing my best to get the followers count up. Try to get a small sponsorship. I love the deck. I actually 5-0'd with it a couple times in the last week. Just today I had a 5-0, so it should be on the league posting on Friday. So keep your eyes open. It's this list again. Just a very modest black splash for Siege Rhino and Hostage Taker, and both cards are just kind of overperformers. All right, so opponent's got to beat me with less than 6 minutes on their clock. So we're just F6ing here. They have a ton of cards, full grip, 7 cards in hand. Siege Rhino is the nuts. Siege Rhino is bonkers city. So we just have to not get burnt out by Siege. Oh, do you have another Coatl here? Of course you do. Why not? But remember, we've got a lot of tools to slow them down still. I think they have a Chord of Calling in hand we haven't seen yet. All right. Teferi, all right, they got their own Teferi. Makes sense. It is my list. So they ticked up, which is interesting. Still 6 cards in hand. Opponent trying to rebuild, trying to get through that clock. Siege Rhino with Ephemerate up, I'm sure. So Eternal Witness, they have their Teferi here, and it's a little bit nasty. I've got time, I can chill and think for a second. If I play the Breeding Pool, I can play Eternal Witness, but I don't have enough to overload again. I think, just going for wins, so I can go like Eternal Witness, try to gust the Siege Rhino. Opponent's going to naturally Ephemerate in response. No, hang on. Oh, I can't do anything in instant speed because Teferi's on the board. So they've got me with this Ephemerate, which is pretty nasty. So I could just go to the end step. Oh, again, I can't do anything with Teferi on the board. No, Gabe has tried Siege Rhino lots of times, I think. Or maybe not lots of times, but I definitely remember seeing it back in the day. So I think what I might want to do is Gust, let him Ephemerate. Although, a smart player would let Gust resolve, right? But if it resolves, then... if it doesn't resolve, if he Ephemerates, I take 3 more, but then I get to go get back Path and just, or even Ephemerate, but Ephemerate's pretty bad with Teferi. So I think the line here is start with Gust on Siege Rhino. The opponent should just put it on top, right? Please just put it on top, opponent. Just put it on top. Okay, they did it. That was a good play by the opponent, for sure. So here, I'm pretty sure I'm just getting blown out. But I'm probably not going to die next turn. So maybe just play a Soulherder and a Witness. Build up my creatures a little bit. I can Witness back. I'm going to die to Siege Rhino. But 2 life, well, this is another point. I could, of course, block with the birds if I need to. I think I kind of have to do it. I could get my own Teferi. So many decisions. Can't pay life? I think I can pay life. Teferi. It's just rough. I think I have to get back wins. I don't know, guys. There's probably some next level line that I'm not seeing here. But in both of the games, the opponent has drawn pretty well and actually played very well, I have to say. Oh, Path to Shuffle Rhino is the next level. But I'm sure they have Ephemerate here. Yeah. I'm so Path would have been actually very interesting. That's super smart, and I should have thought about it. But you can't always see every line. I need to get much better about thinking about auxiliary sort of effects like that, like the fact that Path shuffles people's decks. Like I'm so bad at remembering that stuff. Oh no! Oh no! I'm saying to the opponent now, awesome game so far. Oh, I just need to get. I should have. This is so painful. I just want to get worship down. What are they doing? What are you doing? Court of Calling for Soulherder. That's awesome. Losing to Soulherder is always nice. Yeah, good call, Professor. Good call. They could have just made. Super well played. I'm just gonna let the opponent know. Man, if I could have maybe leaving the birds and just playing worship last turn would have been pretty sketchy. I guess no, Teferi can just bounce the birds. So I didn't have enough mana at that point, I think, to go like. Would love to talk the deck. Oh, hang on a second. There are links to the Discord in the Reddit post, because this guy got my list from a Reddit post. I'm gonna say please join us at the Discord. The Discord is awesome. So since there are so many of you guys here watching now, hang on a sec. I'll get you a link. I'm gonna just grab the opponent a link real quick to the Discord. So I like to set it to never expire, and then no limit. We'll generate a link and we'll copy it. You can highlight and Control C. So the list should be over here if you guys are unfamiliar with it. Cardboard Live extension. And I was starting to say, since there's so many of you guys here with me right now, I was planning on just ending the stream, but I'll definitely play another round. Let's check out Siege Rhino's text. It does in fact drain, so Worship wouldn't have gotten us there. There's so many random cards that you would expect them to lose life or do damage, but they do the opposite. Like Kaya, I played against Kaya the other day, and I had Worship down. Do you guys think that Kaya loses life, or do you think that it does damage? I mean, she is Orzhov, right? The most drainy color combination. So you would expect her, I'm sure, to drain, but she actually does damage. So Worship doesn't care about Kaya. All right. So at this point, it looks like the opponent, we can no longer chat. I sent him a link. Hopefully he'll find his way to the Discord. And if he can't, he can just search for the Reddit post. Not a big deal. So I was starting to say, you guys should be able to see Cardboard Live over here. It's got the list. I can just flash it real quick for you guys who are new to the channel. 21 lands, 4 birds instead of Noble Hierarch, because I do have a tiny black splash. I don't like Assassin's Trophy as removal because it overloads you on the requirement for the black, and you just get stuck with Assassin's Trophies in hand. So yeah, very minimal black splash. Only 2 cards in the 75. Uro is a house. I used to play 1, now I play 2. 2 is correct. Everything feels super balanced. I did 5-0 twice with the deck in the last week or so. So there's not a lot of fat that I might be able to trim. The last thing I considered possibly changing was swapping out the main deck Knight for one of the Teferis, because Teferi just always overperforms. But then I started thinking about all the Stoneforge decks and just the general versatility of Knight, and the fact that we want a sort of a critical mass of creatures in the deck. And I think Knight sort of ever so slightly wins out against Teferi for that particular slot. All right, awesome. Glad to hear it. And for those of you guys who didn't see my Reddit post, it's in the Modern subreddit. You just search for Soulherder. There's not a lot of Soulherder posts. I made it just about a week ago. I had links. I have a primer, actually. It's like more than 20 pages. It's got information about why we might choose any of these cards, why you might run Urian versus not run Urian, why you might run 60 cards versus 80 cards, etc. That primer is in the Reddit post, but it's also pinned in the Discord. So anyhow, this is the list. I'm 60 cards. I really like it because it maxes out your opportunity to draw paths and forces, and those are like really, really clutch cards in so many matchups. But beyond that, running 60 cards increases obviously your likelihood of drawing any given card. So I feel much more comfortable on 60 cards running like a more or less singleton sideboard that you bring in packages against different matchups. You've got Court of Calling. Spore Frog is my own tech. I've never seen it before in Modern. I know people know about this card, but the idea is just that there are some very, very aggressive decks, and being able to chord for one and just stop combat is pretty awesome. You know, against a deck like Hammer Time or something where they're trying to just dome you like on turn 2 or 3. Spore Frog is pretty sick. And then Spore Frog, you can kind of build your own Stonehorn Dignitary, because play Spore Frog, sack Spore Frog, ephemerate Eternal Witness, get back Spore Frog, and then you just sort of loop that. It's actually really busted with Teferi because it makes it so that the opponent can't remove Spore Frog on your turn ever. So I did that against Infect actually more than once, where you get Teferi down, Spore Frog down, and some kind of graveyard loop. And they just can't attack. They can't deal any damage. So it's so much fun, this deck. So if anybody's curious about it, definitely check out the Discord. Try to check out that Reddit post. And I'm going to definitely jump into another match here. But really the strength of Spore Frog is that it synergizes so nicely with Court of Calling. This hand is putting me to the test. I've said multiple times during this stream that snakes are like the most important card in our opening hand. And I gave an example of 5 lands and 2 snakes. I do think that 6 lands and 1 snake is not quite enough. So I'm going to mulligan. Unfortunately, the opponent is keeping 7 cards. And this is significantly better. We'll hope for something where, you know, Night of Autumn is relevant. We can go forest, birds, even plains for night, but basic plains is kind of an easy bottom. We do like fetches since we run Uro, so I'm going to keep this, and we very rarely want to actively, you know, play a basic plains. I played the bejesus out of Astrolabe. Well, all right, we drew a non-land card, which is nice. And with birds, it could actually be quite nice. If we can get like early Venture out and start bouncing lands. If this is another Soulherder mirror, all right, it's not. It's these reclamation decks or ramp decks are pretty hard for us. So if we can slow them down by bouncing lands, it would be pretty dope. So this looks to me like a growth spiral. Oh yeah, Gallows Humor. You can just check it right now. So Ephemerate is always a good draw, particularly if we can get Venser off to good effect. So I'm just gonna play Night of Autumn here as a beatdown, sort of. I don't know. No. I'm not gonna do that because maybe it is a Reclamation deck, but we do have Ephemerate. I think just getting birds down seems nice. Yeah, continuing to ramp is pretty dope because then we can hold up Ephemerate next turn. So I'm going to get a basic island with this thing, and then I can go get Canopy Vista next. So let's see if the opponent does, in fact, play a Growth Spiral. In which case, they could, in theory, play Wilderness Reclamation next turn, which would be pretty dirty. We could go for Night, but then they could have Cryptic. I guess we'll sort of see what they've got here. It's pretty nasty. This is a really difficult matchup. Nah, they're probably just going to play Wilderness Reclamation immediately. Oh my god. All right, we're dodging Wilderness Reclamation. That's awesome. They do have Cryptic up, so we will go to their turn, I think. Like, we'll just pass through our turn. So blue seems fine here. Opponent very, very heavily representing Cryptic Command here. So, I mean, I guess let's see what they've got, right? Like, there's no reason to blink first here, I don't think. I mean, even as far as cracking my fetch. Venturing on their upkeep, bouncing the Zagoth Triome seems okay. Alternatively, if they go for Cryptic or something that taps them out for value, on the end step, I can bounce the Zagoth Triome. So they are tapping out here. Yeah, blink first. That's pretty funny. They're going for the Growth Spiral. So they are going to tap out. I feel like just bouncing their Zagoth Triome seems pretty good here. And then I can hold up Ephemerate. So I will, in fact, crack this right now, because I don't like any tricks where I crack it and they kill Venser or something. So Canopy Vista, and I don't think bouncing Growth Spiral seems amazing. I think I'm just going to bounce their land. Zagoth Triome comes in tapped no matter what. They can play it back out, and then I can Ephemerate right away. But we kind of want to leave up Ephemerate in case they tap out. We can bounce Wilderness Wreck like while it's on the stack. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I feel like I sequenced that incorrectly, because if I should have bounced the Growth Spiral, right? Because yeah, that just puts us in. He wouldn't have drawn a card. Yeah, you're. Does it just? Oh, it just counters it. Good call. Opponent looks like they don't have a land drop here. At least they're slow rolling the land drop. So now I guess the question is, do I go for Ephemerate? And I think the answer is that I do. They could push in response, like Cracked Field of Ruin and push, but I think the upside is just too high here. I mean, even like Cryptic. Hang on, let me slow roll a little bit. The opponent is stuck on lands a little bit. We can start pulling ahead. I'm gonna attack with Venser. The opponent wants to play this like Battle of the Dorky Wizards. Sort of fine with me. All right, we Oracle now. This would be a matchup where main deck Teferi would be pretty good in place of Knight of Autumn, but Knight of Autumn's also pretty nice itself. Spell Snare is a good magic card, kind of an obnoxious magic card. So you know what? They're stuck on mana. I'm gonna play out the Knight as a beater, and I'm gonna continue to hold up Ephemerate. If they tap out to play Wilderness Wreck or something meaningful, yeah, I don't know. I don't love it, right? Because I want to hold up Ephemerate more. Because their whole plan is to like play something big, and if we can bounce it with Venser, we catch the rebound with Ephemerate. What do you got, opponent? You gonna? All right, they're gonna put me on basic planes. That's fine. Well, I'm gonna continue to play this slow. But, yeah, I'm gonna continue to play it slow. Oh, yeah, Gallows Humor. I totally knew that. See, this is nice. Like, they look like they want to go for a push. So slow rolling is like, you gotta be careful with these Ephemerates. Hopefully some of you... Oh, opponent, thinking about it. Not, what do I have? What do I not have? Could it be a Path to Exile, maybe? Also, just kudos if you're, like, representing push, but you don't have it. But this deck missing its land drops is just insane for us. Force is definitely awesome. So get in there, Mr. Knight of Mrs. Knight of Autumn. Gonna bounce it, opponent. You're gonna push it. What are you gonna do? You need to trigger Exalted somehow. I'm Exalted. Trigger Revolt. But now I have a counterspell. I've got an Ephemerate with an on-board counterspell. What do you got, dude? What are you doing? Opt is totally fine. You can opt 100 times if you want. They went bottom. Must still be looking for that land. What do you got? Snapcaster looking for what? Opt? Again, sort of fine. Remember, they did go bottom. They may have just drawn into that Snapcaster. All right, we are behind on time, but I am streaming. So opponent going to go for the double block on this knight here. Double Ephemerate. This is so weird. I kind of have to attack. Can't not attack. If they double block, then I can attack with Venser next turn. We could just draw Uro at some point, although opponent could draw Uro at some point. So we do have Force, we have blue, and white up. So we've got Force and double Ephemerate up. Letting this trade happen, totally fine. Opponent's starting to hit those land drops, so things are heating up a little bit. We haven't really hit our value stride yet, whatsoever. I knew what you meant, man. I knew what you meant. All right, so knight down. They dealt with our sort of mostly irrelevant threat. I mean, apart from just being a stupid body. It would be cool to have it on board to be able to blink it, but we have 3 Eternal Witnesses. Opt, you got it. Like, if they tap out for, like, Primeval Titan or something, I can just Ephemerate Venser. But we would love something like an Eternal Witness. Opponent playing Untapped Watery Grave. Interesting. They're down to 10. Court of Calling is a good card. It's a good card. Why did they play that untapped? I'm not going to attack because I want to leave my options open. What do you got, dude? What are you doing? More opts? Ice Fang, yeah, sort of fine. Okay. It'd be nice to have a blue card to be able to cast Chord and then be able to counter in response to their... Okay. So I think we're going to just Chord for Soulherder here. They've got 6 cards in hand, so go ahead and counter my spell. I mean, if it's a Cryptic, I could bounce Venser. So that was Revolt. Is this going to be a push finally? Monolink is okay. Can't really do anything about that. My own Ice Fang. I like it. In fact, I like it so much I might just main phase it, but not quite that much. I'm just going to keep passing. I'd like to equalize on time somewhat, so I'm going to play a little bit faster. If opponent goes for Fact or Fiction here, that's kind of awesome for us. This game has gotten to kind of a weird spot. That's fine, actually. You got it, opponent. Push away. Still have Ice Fang, maybe Force, maybe Ephemerate. Come on, opponent. Tap all that mana. Yeah, I'm gonna cast Snake on their end step. It's all good. I don't have too much mana to be able to use. I need to hold stuff up for their turn. Okay, Spell Snare is fine. You got it. Opponent's going to outvalue me, which is a little bit rough. This is nasty because I have to tap the birds. I won't have Ephemerate up. I think I kind of have to go for this. But also, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. I don't like not leaving Ephemerate up. And I've got double Ephemerate. If I draw one more land, then I can go for Siege Rhino. They're cycling to make a big shark. I think I might just Ephemerate now after this happens and just bounce their shark since they're tapped out. So land lets us cast Siege Rhino and hold up Ephemerate. I guess they have another snake now because they're attacking. All right, well, let's see what they do in response to this. It's not amazing here. They've got 8 million lands at this point. I do like keeping Venser on the battlefield if they try to kill him. Looks like a snake here. Growth Spiral. Okay, that's going to resolve. It's so funny. So now I can go for Siege Rhino because at least I have Force up. I don't even know what I'm trying to force. Can't just spin my wheels the entire game. Plus, they're going to have 5 cards in hand next turn. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've lost this. So the best I can hope to do is kind of equalize on time a little bit. So nasty. Like, Cryptic Command decks, if they get you into a hole, it can be really hard for our deck to sort of get out of it. And which land I bounced, it didn't really make a difference, right? Jace we're going to counter, and we'll see, we'll see how it goes. Opponent's got 4 mana up. Probably going to just Cryptic it and ruin my day. Mana leak. Sure. All right, so now we just make the control deck win. We still have some decent draws. Bouncing my birds. Okay. Not attacking is questionable. But again, I don't know. What do you got? Ice Fang. They do have the Field of Ruin, so we need to be a little bit careful if I want, like, for example, black mana. But we have the birds on the table. Come on, get in with them birds. I guess the Coatls, the snakes. Well, the thing is, nothing's really a great draw here because the opponent's been brainstorming and they almost certainly have counterspells in hand. So it's just about letting them use more time than we're using. I don't even know what I want to get back here, honestly. But not going to have the option, I don't think. They are at 6 life. Tantalizing, but I know how control goes. I'm not particularly close to getting anywhere here. What do I want to get if they let it resolve? They're not going to let it resolve. Growth. Okay. Well, they're getting fairly low on mana. If they go for like Cryptic, I could try to Ephemerate Venser to put the Cryptic back in their hand and actually draw a card. Okay, keep drawing cards. Am I going to get to choose what to take? They also probably run that black spell that gets things out of the... Ephemerate seems okay, right? Because they obviously can't do anything now. So or maybe Court of Calling, but I can't get anything amazing right now. They didn't have any counter spells, so maybe Chord of Calling does something. I can get well, I'm just losing time right now. Actually, I kind of want to get Ephemerate, cast one of them now, leave up another one. And here, I don't know. I don't know what I want to take. Maybe I'll just take an Ice Fang or something. Nah, Chord of Calling seems pretty good. I can't really cast it right now, but whatever. Opponent's going to start getting in with the snakes. But again, yeah, Uro is a pretty nice draw. They're going, we don't have more white mana, so we do have green. We can Ephemerate now. I'm gonna keep holding Ephemerate. Blue seems fine. Growth Spiral's fine. I'm sorry, I can't read the chat just yet because I'm trying to do my best to sort of equalize on time. So I guess I can go for like Uro, like Chord for Uro. Like, man, we're just kind of wasting time in general. But they didn't have the counter spell. Some last time. Well, let's see what they do in response to this Ephemerate. I need to play fast for sure. Opponent doing something. Looks like a Fatal Push. Just forcing the issue a little bit here. The plan is to get Uro, or to try to. They have another counter spell? How is that even possible? Look at these stacks. This is why you play Soulherder. All right, well, that was, opponent was brainstorming nonstop, so they definitely got me there. I haven't drawn for the turn yet, but we're tapped out. Might as well play the Overgrown Tomb. Whatever. Not trying to represent anything. The opponent is getting closer on time. At one point, at most of the game, they were 2 minutes or so ahead of us, but now they're almost like 1 minute. So okay, brainstorming again. So much card advantage. We're gonna bring in Pithing Needle for sure. I would even blind name Jace. It's just that obnoxious. Also, I don't really know anything else that I'd want to name in the deck at this point. All right, well, still a 2-turn clock as things stand. I might attack Jace just to waste a few seconds. We have no lands to get. Actually, we do. So I'll get my 1 forest. And what do you got, opponent? I'll keep that 1 in hand. Now, if they have a Snapcaster, obviously it's a 1-turn clock. They do. But I'm going to make them... Actually, I can still block. That'll take a few more seconds off. And you can see that the clocks are pretty close to equalizing here. When you've played with Soulherder a lot... Actually, no, I can't block because they killed the Birds of Paradise. So I'm just dead, which is fine. Actually, I'm not dead because they traded the Snapcaster. All right, so we get 1 more turn. I was starting to say, when you play with Soulherder a lot, you learn that you've got to watch the clock. It's a very big deal. All right, so let's sideboard, do our best. And so, you know, we're pretty equal on time. I was playing pretty slowly most of the game, doing all the commentary. So they did not play Wilderness Reclamation, though it's obviously a Wilderness Reclamation deck. Veil of Summer is amazing. Pithing Needle is excellent because it answers Jace, which is one way that they just bury us. I don't know about Winds of Abandon. I don't think Purge is reasonable here. Teferi is excellent. Disdainful Stroke seems okay. Ether Gust seems okay. Kind of a tempo card in this sense, in this case, I think. So, let's see. Got to take some stuff out. Night doesn't seem super crazy amazing here, so I'm going to take Night out. I'm sure they're an Uro deck, but I can trim 2 paths at least. Venser seemed good. Stonehorn, not necessary. If we're trying to do something like Stonehorn, we've probably just lost. Hostage Taker for a Snapcaster is gas. You know what? On second thought, Hostage Taker, there's probably not going to be that many targets. Actually, even taking their Snake is pretty good. I'll leave it in, I think. It's not too slow. That game took like 20 turns. It's not too slow at all, I don't think. Hostage Taker is a card that I just have a lot more experience than any of you in the chat have playing in this deck. And I know that it's just like it can just win games, so I'm gonna keep it in. So I don't know. 1 Eternal Witness, it's a great card. 1 Bird, I'm on the play, I'll keep my lands in. I don't think I need both of these Disdainful Strokes, and since I'm bringing in 1 Disdainful Stroke, I'll trim 1 Force, and we'll run it back like that. I said it at the very beginning of this match that it's extremely difficult. The type of value that they try to do with their deck is it beats the type of value that we do. Like when they get, I guess we can get a nice lock, but if we don't get something going really quickly, then they just cast Jace, and then they loop Mystic Sanctuary with Cryptic Command. Gust is more to try to catch them on like a Wilderness Wreck, or like I know these decks play Titan, so just keep Titan from getting on the battlefield for a turn, and then you can loop it with Eternal Witness. This is really nice, super nice. You guys might get to see some good magic here. Now, if the opponent has the Mystical Dispute, they get us, but looks like they're tapping out here. Or well, Thoughtseize would be gross. Just all right. Push is sort of fine. We've got mana. We just can't play turn 2 Teferi, which is a little bit rough. Lands, please. All right, what do you got, opponent? You have a Snake or you have Growth Spiral. You do not have Mana Leak. I can just get a basic here, I think. Actually, I don't know, whatever. I'll get a duel. All right, well, we're hitting our lands. I'll go for an attack here. If the opponent wants to do something stupid like throw a Snapcaster in front of it. Now, I mean, the upside of landing Teferi is so huge. I think I just have to go for this right now. If they have a Mana Leak, whatever, like we can't wait until like turn 6 to try to resolve anything that matters. These decks always have what they need. It's pretty frustrating. Like push for the birds, Mana Leak for the early bomb. But we can just potentially leave up Chord for 3 on their turn. Could be good. I just keep playing snakes. Play a snake, I can still Chord for 2, I think. But I'm attacking, so I think I'd like to thin the deck here, but I don't know. Life total's already getting fairly low. It's probably not what we're concerned about in this matchup. Monoleak, dude. I got you covered. So thanks again so much to those of you guys who are here from Gabe's stream and for sticking around a little while. I've been on this list for about a month. Opt is a card that is going to resolve. They put it on the top. Okay, that resolved. Nice. Nice. Okay, instant speed stuff. I can dig it. It's a growth spiral. No, it's another Opt. And if some of you guys want to see more, Soulherder, if you throw a follow my way, you'll get notified whenever I stream. I do Soulherder every Monday night around 7 or 8 Eastern time. It can vary week to week, particularly in the summer. I'm happy you're enjoying it, man. I've been playing Merfolk for 7 years, and I have a YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/merfolkjoe, and I've got, I don't know, 1,000 videos on that channel, but most of them are still at this point Merfolk. I upload these Monoleak. This dude is flush with Monoleaks. I think that means we go for some bomb Court of Calling here. Like Eternal Witness, and see if they have yet another Monoleak. If we go Eternal Witness, we get back, I guess just Ice Fang here. We can't play Teferi right now. Do you have another opponent? So I guess what I was getting at with the Merfolk commentary there is that, or comment, is that I've been doing this kind of commentary for a long time. Don't have another. Oh, this is so stupid. Is that the third Monoleak? Oh my god. So now we're top decking against 4 cards. Let's see. Well, that seems decent. Let's see if we can get the opponent to do something stupid by attacking here. Alright, so they've had 3 counter spells already. Surely they couldn't have a 4th counter spell that's not Monoleak that I can pay for right now. Okay. Oh my god. Guys, we're doing stuff. We are doing stuff. Officially doing stuff. Alright, opponent. How you like me now? I've got like a Soulherder, some other stuff. That's a good card. Stuff is being done. Stuff is being accomplished. I think attack. Try to get the opponent again to do something stupid. And then maybe just get Teferi back. I would have land up to play Teferi and hold Ephemerate. Opponent's like, should I tap their team? Should I let them attack? I'm going to attack. They're going to crack that and play a Snapcaster and get Fatal Push, and I'm going to Ephemerate something. Huh. What are you doing, opponent? Fatal push. You know I have an ephemerate in hand. Don't do it to yourself, opponent. Don't do it. Oh, they're making us a big shark. That's actually pretty rough for us. Because now they can eat. Well, they haven't drawn a card yet, right? So, a little rough. But we can just go Eternal Witness, get back Soulherder now, right? Which seems pretty good. Also, if they want to kill, I do need to get this off right now. Because once they get, let's see, once they get this Fatal Push, I do need to play kind of quickly. They just set up a block against Soulherder. I go to blink this, they just Fatal Push this, and they eat the Soulherder. So we do need to blink this now. So unfortunately not getting in for that point of damage. Another Ephemerate might be pretty sick. Siege Rhino is also pretty good. All right, opponent. Do your worst. Do your worst. All right, trading with the Soulherder. It's a pretty good play. I cannot tell a lie. It is a good play. So they've got the push. So I think we just go Eternal Witness, play Teferi. Just seems kind of nutty. I like it. I have to stop talking so much at the expense of actually making plays here. What shark? Exactly. If I get Soulherder, it just gets killed. So I think I just get Teferi, as I was saying. Try to make things difficult for the opponent. They are sneaking ahead on time again. And if they let this... No, they would not let this resolve because they have to snap off the push right now. They could let it... I'm going to bounce one of these snakes right back to my hand. Yeah, you got it, opponent. Well done. Oh, wait, no. No! Oh, I forgot to activate Teferi. That's ridiculous. I didn't forget. I just pressed the wrong button. All right. That's what happens after you play Soulherder for like more than 3 hours or something like that. Ridiculous. Hopefully it won't end up making a big difference, I guess. Opponent can't do anything right now. Pretty sick. We're getting close to just winning. Actually, Siege Rhino, blink it with Teferi. I can't cast it again, so that's a problem. But we are going to cast this Siege Rhino. Yes, it's true. Ephemerate is a nice combo with Teferi. So I could bounce it back to my hand. Oh, I attack for 1. That's it. GG. That's it. Yeah, no, I see it. I'm sure the chat sees it. Yes, definitely lethal. Definitely lethal. And I have to run to the bathroom. So we will get a game 3 after all. And I think that, 8 minutes is a third of my time. So it's enough. Go Siege Rhino. You guys know you really want to play Siege Rhino in Modern, right? It's so good. It's so good. All right, cool. So I'll be right back, guys. I gotta hustle. Yeah, I almost missed lethal, huh? But you guys gotta trust me that I didn't need to look at chat to know to attack with Oracle and then Ephemerate. Because you've got so many potential lines with this deck that it's easy to overthink things. It's like, oh, just attack and that's it. GG. I think our setup was just fine. Being on the draw, we might want to bring in another force, but I think we're fine. All right. So let's hopefully win this one. This is round 4. I'm currently 2-1. We beat Storm and we beat Jeskai Ascendancy. Actually, I want to say we spanked both of those decks. Beauty, beauty, beauty. All right, let's go. Let's play fast. Fast and furious. Opponent with the opt, I guess, right? And getting better by the second. You guys haven't seen Speed Magic Joe. Like, when it comes to crunch time, like, I'm actually pretty good at playing fast. So let's go. Turn 2 Oro, but there's lots of lines, man. There's Oracle plus Ephem. If I draw a land, I'll play Oro. Opponent with the Monoleak, though, we know. Like, that Monoleak is just a given. What you got? You got the push? El Pusho? All right, fair enough. No Monoleak for you. Sick, good draw. I will lead with the... you know what? I'm just going to do this now. Really want to get that white mana. Do not mystical dispute this, please. Don't do it, opponent. No, Spell Snare, don't do it. Oh, so rough. All right, well, they've had perfect answers so far. They can't have perfect everything, right? So I think now I'm going to go for... Oh, wait. I'm gonna go for like Ice Fang with Ephemerate. They're gonna do some stuff. Let's see. No, he did not dispute it. Good call. Opponent went bottom with the opt. We'd really not like to pitch any of these cards if possible. You going for Wilderness Reclamation, just tapping out? Oh, Mystic Sanctuary, not getting any value. Sucks for you, opponent. All right. So I think I'm going to aggressively go for Ephemerate here. I will force if necessary. I want to pull ahead. I want to get some cards. Give me some cards. I'm not. I'm going to pitch Soulherder if it comes to it. I'm saying it now, but watch the clocks get closer and closer as this match goes along. Excuse me. Beautiful. Let's go. Another force. I like it. Opponent sort of resigned to letting this resolve. I think this might be the turn for Uro, just to get that value. Oh, Hostage Taker, that's cool. Actually, I kind of like playing the birds. Hold up Ice Fang again. So opponent started off with the nuts. Now, what's happening? What do you got? Oh, Shark Typhoon. All right, whatever. Fine. Shark Typhoon for 1. Sick. I do have to watch the clock. Opponent's still thinking for some reason. Plays a land. What do you got? What do you got? You got Jace. Got a Force of Negation. If you have another Spell Snare, I don't think I'm blocking. I don't care about this stupid shark. We can cast Uro soon. I mean, we can escape Uro soon. We can escape Uro, not right now, soon. It's in that deck. I think it's time to play Soulherder. Push? Got another push? We probably would have used it already. All right, well, Veil is dope. Just let me untap. Come on. You can't have like 18 monoleaks. Oh my god. So dirty. So dirty. But we're casting Uro, so we're okay. We're doing all right. Opponent brainstorm and they're tapped out. Pithing Needle. Baby, baby. All right, let's get this Uro first, though. With the quickness. Doom, doom, doom. Doom, doom. Done. Okay, that's nice. But I'm going to get Needle down, just cuz. Oh, okay. I was going to name Pithing Needle. I don't even care that, like, I have a Pithing Needle. I'm still killing Jace. Trade with one of my snakes. You know you want to, opponent. There you go. We do have Veil up. Obviously doesn't matter in combat, but Veil is a nice thing to have. Also, drawing cards is a nice thing to do. You still have more than 5 minutes. Double cord. Man, Teferi would be awesome here. Opponent might just be... They might have to start cryptic tapping my team. In which case I could Venser. I could cord for Venser. It's turn 7 and they only have 6 lands. Notice, as I said, the clock is getting closer. They're fetching right now. Oh, Mystic Sanctuary, sure. Oh, if they go for push right now, that would be bonkers. Fine, fine. What? Come on, push. Screenshot. I don't even care if they counter it. Good enough. Well, come on, deck. There we go. Opponent with 1 card in hand. And we won! Yes! 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 We won against the hard matchup, guys. Yes. I love it. Oh, for those of you guys who don't know, if you subscribe to my channel, maybe if you don't even, you can spam 3 emotes that I've designed myself. It's I have a Orion one, which actually is pretty outdated at this point. Then I have like a laughing Soulherder. And then there's like an ephemerate emote. So if you guys want to spam some cool Soulherder emotes, go ahead and throw me like a Twitch Prime subscription. Oh, that was awesome. Let me keep drawing cards. I'm so happy. All right, so I was, but the guy had like 2 or 3 minutes on me when we started, and I caught up. Speed magic. We haven't checked. Let's see the opponents here. That dude's got 4 trophies, just wrecking people. Gallows, currently trophyless, but I'm sure now that he's playing Soulherder, he's going to be up there soon. DGG does not, but I think Lorington had 5 trophies. Yeah, so 9 trophies between my opponents so far. Well, you know, if you're on 4-1 all the time, it's just a matter of time, Gallows. You know, like you'll get there, man. Oh, I got a subscriber. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Let's see how I'm gonna actually figure out how to pronounce this here. J-E champed. How do you want me to say that, man? Is it je chante, like French or something? Je chante. Yeah, no, 4-1 is amazing, dude. Don't be sad about 4-1s. What, the French works for you? Je chante? All right, guys, look. I would love to finish this league. I would love to finish it. But I have to have dinner. My wife is going to kill me if I play another match. Also, I don't have a lot to do tomorrow. So I promise I won't finish this this league without you guys. I'm gonna tomorrow sometime in the afternoon, I'll jump in. If you guys want to see the finish of the league, make sure you follow the channel. Let me real quick go look at the deck with you guys. I was just finish my thought. Give me a follow. You'll get notified when I start tomorrow, and we'll just wrap up this league. Not going to be a full stream. I'll just wrap up the league. Talk a lot about Soulherder. The deck is so much fun. So much fun. Gallows, man, these people are subscribing. This is unreal. Thank you guys so much. It means so much to me. Like, I've been like sitting on like 3 or 4 subscribers for like ever, you know, which is awesome. Like the people who are supporting me so far, just amazing that people love what I do so much with this deck. I forgot to mention, I think I stream Merfolk on Wednesday evening. So if any of you guys are into Merfolk, Wednesday at like 7 or 8 Eastern, I do stream Merfolk. Merfolk has been doing amazingly lately in the metagame. I am going to start a series of posts on the Modern subreddit like every other week on Fridays, I think, just cataloging all of the Merfolk results that get posted in the Discord, because for every like 1 or 2 lists that gets posted on the mothership, there's like 5 other results. Like people 5-0 like multiple times a day with Merfolk right now, and people are doing great in the challenges. It's super well situated. So oh yeah, guys, I will try to do that. Thank you very much, Paintball Demon. But for those of you guys who are interested in the deck, you should definitely go to the Modern subreddit and just search for Soulherder. I posted just a week ago. It has a link to the Discord. It has obviously a link to this deck, the deck list. Has a lot of info about the deck. There's a link to the primer that I made. I have like a 20-page primer, so so much info if you guys want it. But as for like an actual link from here, not quite sure the best way to do this. I'm gonna say never and say no limit, and then say generate a new link and copy it. Now I'm gonna create a new. All right, so I guess this is how I want to do this. So how am I going to send this to you? Oh, no, wait, I know how to do it. I have to go here, right? And then I have to chat it to you guys? I don't know, I'm so confused. I'm just going to type this out. I don't have 2 monitors like a lot of people do. So I do this on my laptop, and then I have my phone. I'm going to actually just manually type in this link. Discord. You guys could do this too, but I know how lazy you guys are. GG/H capital Y capital P technology lowercase f This is ridiculous. Capital R. Okay. I'm sure I spelled that wrong, but whatever. So, guys, come to the Discord. It's awesome. Everybody there is super positive. We don't have any salty idiots. I would just ban them. I am a moderator. I have the power to do whatever I want. So, thank you guys so much again for joining. I have to thank Gabe. I don't think he's around anymore this evening, but just amazing. Tomorrow, to answer your question, Juchant, I will make a one-time exception for you. You can come and salt out, just don't overdo it, and you can hang out with us. To answer the question about, hold on, yeah. These needles are gorgeous. You guys don't know about these needles? They're so nice, man. And then you've got the Witness. I just picked up these new Secret Lair Snowlands because the full art ones are so stupid. I mean, I was talking about this earlier. Like, who okayed these snow cones? This is not acceptable. This is really bad. I mean, Titus Luntner really know what he's doing, but like he's a really good artist. Blah. Not. I mean, I guess it's technically a snow-covered island, but so nasty. So I think this art is actually pretty sick. It's problematic though on MTGO because when you're searching your library, look at the top bar. It's really hard to differentiate it from other lands. Like, see the snow-covered plains? Like, all you see is the text, and so you at least needed to run these ones because it's blue on top and green on top. But now we've got the best of both worlds. We've got sick art. I think the plains is probably the nicest. I really, really like it. So somebody was asking me what time I might do the thing tomorrow. What time I might pick up the stream. Actually, I have an earlier appointment than usual tomorrow. I would normally have the day off tomorrow, but I'm free after 12 Eastern. So sometime in the early afternoon, I would say. So maybe like 12:30 or 1 o'clock Eastern is what I would say. So closing thoughts. We played against Storm and Jeskai Ascendancy and this Sultai control deck. They weren't even on Wilderness Wreck, though they might just be on like a Singleton or something like that. We beat those 3 decks, and then we unfortunately lost to another deck, which I'm kind of blanking on right now because my brain is like 80% fried. Oh, I lost to the Mirror. That's sick. That's amazing. So just before that match, I 5-0'd. Sorry, just before this stream, I 5-0'd, and then now apparently I'm going for another 5-0, except for losing to the same deck, which is, it's so cool. So guys, if you want to, I'm sorry. So let's see, Ferdy, it's 4 a.m. for you. So, I mean, I don't know if there's a better time for you, let me know. Do you want me to do it in the evening? I don't really care. It's not a normal streaming day. Like if I do it at like this time, is that much better? Like 6 hours later, I guess you get up at 10 and watch or something like that? Because tomorrow is a pretty lazy day for me. I have one appointment in the morning, and then I can just chill. So we'll do 6 o'clock or something. But Ferdy, if I tailor my schedule to you, maybe you can give me like a subscription, maybe. But I'm down. I'm just playing around. Guys, come to the Discord. Check out the Reddit post. Thanks again. I'll see everybody tomorrow, whenever, probably in the evening for Ferdy. Let's say 6 o'clock Eastern, maybe 7 o'clock, whatever. No, it's all good. Honestly, I'm not doing anything tomorrow. So it's all good. And then Wednesday I'll be playing Merfolk. So really hyped. Love the deck. And that's it. Let me one last thing. You guys came to me on a raid, so I'd love to just find out who's online right now. And send you somewhere else if you can bear with me for a minute. Doomwake is a pretty cool dude. He plays some fun stuff, so I'm gonna send you guys over to Doomwake right now. I think it's 2 zeros. So let me do it. Ask him to play tokens. Tell him I sent you and you want to see him play tokens, okay? Is that a deal? You guys gonna go watch Doomwake, tell him to play mono white tokens. I think he's playing like Legacy right now. But tokens is the shiznit, so go tell him to play that. I'll see you guys later. Thanks again.